I call the Senate to order. Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Senator Barnett. Senator Berry. Senator Berry. Senator Blackman. Senator Blackwell. Senator Blunt. Senator Boyd. Senator Brumfield.
Here.
Senator Bryan. Senator Butler. Senator Carter. Senator Chazanall. Senator Chisholm. Senator DeBar. Senator Delano. Senator Dupree. Senator England. Senator Fillingane. Senator Frazier. Senator Gillespie Ison. Senator Harkin. Senator Hartness. Senator Hickman. Senator Hill. Senator Hobson. Senator Jackson. Senator Johnson. Senator Kirby. Senator Ladner. Senator McCon. Senator McClendon. Senator McMahon. Senator Michelle. Senator Mumford. Senator Norwood. Senator Parks. Senator Pope. Senator Rhodes. Senator Seymour. Senator Simmons of the 12th. Senator Simmons of the 13th. Senator Sparks. Senator Suber. Senator Tate. Senator Taylor. Senator Thomas. Senator Thompson. Senator Turner Ford. Senator Whaley. Senator Wiggins. Senator Williams. Senator Younger. Mr. President, a quorum is present.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Will the senators and guests in the gallery please rise for the invocation given by our own Senator Brumfield? And it'll be followed by the Pledge of Allegiance by Senator Blackman. Senator Brumfield.
Let us pray. Our God, our Father, how blessed we are to be in this particular place at this particular time. Your word has declared that this is your day. We ought to rejoice and be glad in it. And so, Lord, we're blessed to know that you've sent the very best that heaven had to offer in sending your Son. And today, as we celebrate Palm Sunday, we celebrate you being our King, our Lord, our Savior, and everything that we need. And so, God, today, as you bless us, we pray that we're able to be mindful to be a blessing to others. Lead and guide us. Keep us in your care. Do that for us which we cannot do for ourselves. That's on love on us the way we need to be loved. Thank you now. We bless you now. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Please join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Want to take a picture real quick? Thank you, Senator Brumfield. Thank you, Senator Blackman. Now to the reading of the journal. Senator Blackwell, you.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move we dispense with the
Senator
reading of the
dispense
journal.
with the reading of the journal. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Messages and petitions, Mr. Clerk.
Mr. President, there are none.
Committee reports, Senator Blackwell.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move we dispense with the reading of the committee
Senator moves
reports.
dispense with the reading of the committee reports. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Next to the reading of the titles of bills and resolutions, I recognize Senator Blackwell.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move we dispense with the reading of the titles of the bills and resolutions.
Senator moves dispense with the reading of the titles of bills and resolutions. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Introduction of guests, Senate. Introduction of guests, Senator McClendon.
Introduction, Mr.
Please
President.
proceed.
Senate, today I would like everyone to welcome a family that came here all the way from Keg, Denmark, which is a coastal town. They're 3 weeks here in the United States, and they picked Jackson, Mississippi, and the Mississippi State Capitol to come visit. Please give a warm welcome to the Kalbach family.
Welcome to our state. We appreciate you coming. All right, Senator McCon. Oh, I see you got a helper.
introduction, Mr. President.
Please
It's
proceed.
my pleasure today to have the junior senator from District 31 here with me and my wife, Carrie, on this, our family Sunday of conference weekend. Thank y'all for welcoming them here today.
Yeah, Terry. Any other introductions? Seeing none. Finance. Rules. Local and private. Motion to reconsider. In conference appropriation, Senator Hobson, you recognize.
Thank you, Mr. President. If I may be recognized just to give an overview on the conference reports for appropriations, with your permission, Mr. President.
Please proceed.
Thank you. We'll have today in front of us for passage almost all of our conference reports for appropriations. There are about 4 that I will move to recommit at the appropriate time, and there are a few where I may ask for unanimous consent on some things that we picked up on in the process of reviewing these bills, unanimous consent to change a couple of bills. But just from a general standpoint, the final proposed action for FY27 is out of general funds in the state is $7,133,894. That is a little less than what the amount is that we have on the expected revenue. It's about $13 or $14 million less than what we had on expected revenue. This does include, of course, other funds that we typically use to put together the budget, which would be things like the Healthcare Expendable Fund, the Tobacco Control Fund. You'll see in here we've got the opioid funds distributed, and of course GCRF and other items that we have that are for particular projects. Capital expense funds will largely be used for one-time projects. We do have one area where we had a significant capital expense utilization, and that is Division of Medicaid. And when we get to that bill, I'll explain that. And then, of course, EEF we use for many of our educational expenses at all 3 levels, those being K-12, IHL, and community colleges. And the total budget, when you take all of those funds together, the total is $8,457,440,498. And again, that includes all the GCRF, opioids, healthcare expendable, tobacco control, CapEx, et cetera. So that's an overview of the budget, Mr. President. And if there are questions, I'm happy to take them. Otherwise, I'll just go through the budgets and allow each of the members to ask questions as we get to each conference report. If there are none.
Seeing one question, please. Senator Blunt. For what purpose, sir?
Question, Mr. President.
Are you yield, Senator?
I yield.
Senator, you recognize.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm just getting this and trying to keep up, but the one thing I thought I heard you say was regarding how much is appropriated as compared to what the expected revenue is for FY27?
About $13 to $14 million less than expected revenue.
So are we doing the 98% rule for FY?
That was excluded, so that's outside of that, yes.
So we're doing the 98% rule.
Correct.
With about 13 million in addition to that.
That's it.
Okay,
yes.
all right. Thank you, Mr.
You
Chairman.
got it right.
Thank you, Senator Blunt. Seeing no further questions, Senator, we're ready.
Yes, we go to item 11, have the title read.
Clerk, please read the title.
House Bill 1889, Appropriation Archives and History Department of.
My motion is to adopt the conference report and ask to be recognized to explain.
You're recognized.
Thank you. This is Department of Archives and History. Final action is $34,937,000. Of that, $13,346,758 is general funds. We utilize the vacancy funding of $163,057. That's a combination of general funds, federal funds, and other special funds because of the way those employees are set up. We had 2 new janitorial staff headcount. That's general funds, 74,367. We've got 1 new AV, audiovisual staff member, and special funds are utilized for that person, 56,966. We have preservation of historic artifacts here in the Capitol. Largely, that will be the portraits of our governors here in the Capitol. That's $417,000 utilizing capital expense funds. We have $2 million for the Mississippi Historic Site Preservation Fund, special funds there, and $7.5 million for the Mississippi Community Heritage Grant Preservation Grant Program, also utilizing special funds. That's an explanation of the conference report. I will yield for questions. If there are no questions, Mr. President, I move adoption of the conference report by use of the afternoon
Use
roll
of the
call.
morning roll calls requested. Anyone object to that procedure? Court is voting no. Senator Blunt is present. Anyone else? Anyone else? Bill passed by use of the morning roll call. 12. Senator, you recognize.
As we go to that item, have the title read.
Mr. Clerk, please read the title.
This is the DEQ budget, final action, $273,546,581. General fund portion, $21,417,453. This did include restoring some vacancy funding and 5 headcounts that were needed. This utilized general funds, federal funds, and special funds. That was $275,345. Also, we put general funds into the revolving loan fund match that they utilized, and that was $844,714. This is for the water, clean water match that they utilized. So the total over LBR, including all sources of funds, is $1,120,059. I'll yield for questions. And, oh, by the way, one other thing that's in this budget that I think Senator Delano had covered previously is the language that said that the department shall not promulgate rules or regulations to establish the State Water Alteration Program or any similar program that would apply to permanent, intermittent, and ephemeral waters as well as certain wetlands.
Seeing no questions.
No questions. I move adoption of the conference report by use of the
Use
afternoon roll
more
call.
of the afternoon roll calls requested. Anyone object? Court is voting no. Present. Seeing none, the bill passes. 13, Senator.
Thank you. Ask the title be read.
Mr. Clerk.
House Bill 1893, Appropriation Forestry Commission.
Move adoption of the conference report. Ask to be recognized.
You recognize, sir.
Thank you. Final action for Forestry Commission, $32,486,187, of which $17,979,969 is general funds. This included $319,029 for critical salaries, again broken down by general funds, federal funds, and special funds to pay for those salaries. Also vacancy funding of $821,249 and some special funds for PINs on $597,643, and this was special funds only. Total of $1,737,921 over LBR. I'll yield for questions. If none, I move adoption of the conference report by use of the afternoon roll call.
Use of the afternoon roll call has been requested. Anyone object to that procedure? Court is voting no. Present. Seeing none, Senator. 14.
Ask that the title be read.
Clerk, please read the title.
House Bill 1894, Appropriation Grand Gulf Military Monument Commission.
Move adoption of the conference report. Ask to be recognized. Explain.
You recognize, sir.
Thank you, Mr. President. This is the Mississippi, the Grand Gulf Military Monument Commission. Final action, $938,614. General fund portion, $363,555. This does include $345,000 for capital expense for the park road improvement, and also $85,000 of capital expense funds for campground repairs. I'll yield for questions. Seeing none, if there are none, rather, I would
Seeing none.
move adoption of the conference report by use of the
Use of the
afternoon
afternoon
roll call.
roll call is requested. Anyone object to the procedure? Court is voting no. Present. Seeing none, the bill passes. Thank you.
Go
Senator.
to item 15, have the title read.
Clerk, please read the title.
House Bill 1896, Appropriation Marine Resources Department of.
A motion is that we recommit for further conference.
Recommit from other. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Thank you, Senator.
As
16.
we go to 16, have the title read.
Clerk, please read the title.
House Bill 1898, Appropriation Pat Harrison Waterway District.
Move the adoption of the conference report. As we recognize and explain.
Clerk, read.
Thank you. Final action here is $9,876,696. No general funds in this bill. It does include special funds for contractual services of $2 million and also vacancy funding, again, special funds, $94,464 for a total of $2,094,464 of all special funds above LBR.
Questions on the bill? Seeing none, Senator.
Seeing none, my motion is adoption of the conference report by use of the afternoon roll call.
Use of the afternoon roll call has been requested. Any object? Close voting no. Present. Seeing none.
Go to item
Bill
17.
passes by use of the afternoon
sorry.
roll call. 17, Senator.
Can I have the title read, please?
Clerk, please read the title.
House Bill 1899, appropriation Pearl River Valley Water Supply District.
Move adoption of the conference report and ask to be recognized.
You're recognized, Senator.
Thank you. The final action is $28,826,107. There are no general funds in this budget. We did authorize the Pearl River Valley Water Supply District to utilize $400,000 for a gateway study. $200,000 of that's capital expense funds, and the other $200,000 is special funds. We authorized them to utilize their special funds of $4 million for upgrades at the North Shore Parkway. Apparently they have some erosion problems there. And then $1.75 million for dredging operations, and that also is special funds that are provided by the folks that pay to be involved in the Pearl River Valley Water Supply District. I yield for questions.
Questions on the bill? Seeing none. Well, 1 second. Senator Michelle, for what purpose?
For question, please.
Do you yield, Senator?
I do yield.
Senator Michelle's working.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. Chairman, were those dredging funds specified as to where they should be spent?
I don't think so. I know they've been doing the dredging projects for a while, Senator, and we've given them money in the past for those operations, but I don't think they were specified. No.
There was a problem with the dredging appropriation from several years ago that the contractor went under, and the bonding, it just was a big mess. Has that money been reauthorized to allow that in the north part of the reservoir?
I think that's what those funds are for, because that contractor did go out of business.
Yes.
Or I can't recall if they went bankrupt or out of business, but they pretty much walked away from the
Person
project.
died, and then the bonding company had
Right.
a problem, and it was just one problem after another.
Yeah, and they're utilizing special funds here for all of this, but I think that they were able to get the funds back or working on that from that contractor that walked
Thank you.
away. Thank you, Senator Michelle.
Seeing no others.
Move adoption of the conference report by use of the afternoon roll
Use
call.
the afternoon roll call has been requested. Anyone object to that procedure? Wish to be recorded voting no. Present. Senator.
Move to item 18, have the title read.
Mr. Clerk.
House Bill 1900, appropriation Public Service Commission.
Move adoption of the conference report. Ask to be recognized to explain.
You're recognized to explain conference report, sir.
Thank you. Final action, $5,333,007. Of that, $4,868,513 is general funds. This included restoration of vacancy funding of $3,312, general funds above LBR. That was the only change in this budget. I'll yield for questions.
Yield for questions. Seeing none, Senator.
If none, my motion is adoption of the conference report by use of the afternoon roll call.
Conference afternoon roll call. Anyone object to the procedure? Of course, voting no. Present. Seeing none, the bill passes. 19, Senator.
Ask that the title be read.
Clerk, please read the title.
House Bill 1901, appropriation Public Utility Staff.
Move adoption of the conference report. Ask to be recognized to explain.
You're recognized to explain.
Final action on the public utility staff is $2,556,315. All but $80,000 of that is general funds, and we adopted the LBR level of funding on this budget. No other changes.
Seeing no questions, Senator.
My motion is adoption of the conference report by use of the afternoon roll call.
Use of the afternoon roll call has been requested. Anyone object? Opposed, voting no. Present. Seeing none. Bill passes by use of the afternoon roll call. Senator.
Yes, we go to item 20 and have the title read.
Clerk, please read the title.
House Bill 1902, appropriation Soil and Water Conservation Commission.
I move adoption of the conference report and ask to be recognized to explain.
You're recognized to explain the conference report.
Thank you. Final action for the Soil and Water Conservation Commission is $45,088,951. Only $689,982 is general funds. This budget does include the restoration of one position, and that is general funds, $117,068, $93,591 of vacancy funding. That's split between general funds and special funds. And then you've got one federal fund expenditure, which is $70,000 for the NRCS education program, and then $50,000 of capital expense fund for Pearl River gauges that they need to study the river. And I'll yield for questions.
Seeing none, Senator.
If none, I move adoption of the conference report by afternoon roll call.
Afternoon roll call has been requested. Anyone object to that procedure? Court is voting no. Present. Seeing none, the bill passes by use of the afternoon roll call, Senator.
Thank you. Ask that we go to item 21 and have the title read.
Mr. Clerk, please read the title.
House Bill 1904, Appropriation Wildlife, Fisheries, and Parks Department of.
Move adoption of the conference report and ask to be recognized to explain.
You're recognized, Senator.
Thank you, Mr. President. Final action for Department of Wildlife, Fisheries, and Parks is $103,970,232. This does include $21,853,514 of general funds. Included in this budget are some salary increases, critical salaries of $1,026,869. There's a general fund portion of $673,149. The remainder is federal funds and special funds. Also, there was some vacancy funding needed. That is $3,113,684. That also is split with general, federal, and special funds. The general fund portion is $2,041,128. They've got 8 new cadet positions that they had a new cadet class that got sworn in this year, and paying their salaries and is looking for $555,826. We have $50,000 for a water safety program. We're utilizing capital expense funds for that, and $5 million for our parks improvement within the state, and that's all capital expense funds. So a total is $9,746,379 over LBR.
Questions? Seeing none.
Seeing none, my motion is adoption of the conference report by use of the afternoon roll call.
Use of the afternoon roll call has been requested. Anyone object? Court is voting no. Present. Seeing none, bill passes. Thank you, Senator. 22.
Ask that the title be read.
Mr. Clerk, please read the title.
House Bill 1906, Appropriation Child Protection Services Department of.
Move adoption of the conference report and ask to be recognized to explain.
You're recognized to explain the conference report.
Thank you, Mr. President. The final action for Child Protective Services is $359,007,291. The general fund portion is $140,814,395. We do have 3 new attorney positions. Y'all know that we've allowed them over the last few years to add attorneys to the staff with the foster children that they're bringing through the system, and we're told that really, really helps out a lot in expediting the legal process for these children to get placed back either in their parents' or their caretaker's home or foster care or onto adoption. And then we've got vacancy funding of $750,193. That includes $360,093 in general funds and the remainder in federal funds. 2 contractual staff, let me get that, $2.5 million. And then we've got the Pathways, that's their computer system that they're trying to finish out at CPS. That's $4,229,000 of capital expense funds. And finally, their federal funds, they just need authority to utilize federal funds of $60,245,263.
Questions on the bill? Seeing none.
Okay, that's it, Mr. President. Any questions? If none, I move adoption of the conference report by use of the afternoon roll call.
Use of the afternoon roll call has been requested. Anyone object to that procedure? Wish to be recorded as voting no. Present? Seeing none, the bill passes by afternoon roll call. 2223, sir.
Thank you. Ask that the title be read.
Mr. Clerk, please read the title.
House Bill 1908, Appropriation Health Department Act.
Move adoption of the conference report and ask to be recognized to explain.
You're recognized to explain, sir.
Thank you. Final action for the Department of Health is $591,084,968. The general fund portion is $61,633,807. This does include some programs that Senator Hill and I work with the Department of Health on, and it includes specific funding for out of the Public Health Trust Fund for obesity, patient remote monitoring, cancer screenings, the obstetric system of care, and heart disease, and that's $1 million going to that, and that it also includes $4.5 million of other special funds, which is the opioid money we're going to include, and there should be an opioid list that everybody's got for those funds that are being utilized this year, and then also funding for a Delta Health Center of $60,765. That's also outside funding too. So the total increase over LBR is $5,560,765. I yield for questions.
Questions on the bill? Seeing none, Senator.
My motion is adoption of the conference report by use of the afternoon roll call.
Use of the afternoon roll call has been requested. Anyone object? Wish to be recorded as voting no. Present. Seeing none. Passes by use of the afternoon roll call. Senator.
As we go to item 24 and have the title read.
Mr. Clerk, please read the title.
House Bill 1909, Appropriation Human Services Department Act.
I move adoption of the conference report and ask to be recognized to explain.
You recognize, Senator.
Final action for DHS is $1,683,507,924. The general fund portion is $94,690,585. This does include critical salaries funding of $3,359,727. Of that, $684,235 is general funds. We have vacancy funding of $8,712,935. Of that is $1,774,458 of general funds. We have the $5.1 million that they need to finish out their computer program, and that is critically important to DHS. And y'all may recall we funded a fair bit of that through the ARPA funds several years ago, but that's capital expense funds that we're using for this. Also, we authorized them to use capital expense funds to demolish some old cottages at Oakley Youth Development Center that were there. I think those cottages may have some asbestos remediation involved too. And then finally authorize them to institute a pilot program for an adolescent offender program. I know that's something Director Anderson has requested for a few years and may help alleviate some problems down the road. So we have funded that out of capital expense funds as well. So the total increase over LBR is $20,672,662, most of which is capital expense funds. There is some general funds on those salary lines. I'll yield for questions.
Questions on the bill? Senator Hill, for what purpose, ma'am?
Question.
You for a
I
question,
do
Senator?
yield.
Senator Hill's recognized.
Was there any extra funds put in there for child care?
No.
Thank you.
We had some last year, but those, last year we were supplanting funds that had been taken out from the federal.
Yes.
So there was never, as you may recall, there was never any funding that had originated out of state, but last year, as part of the step down from those federal clawbacks or pullbacks, we put $15 million in, but this year just had no agreement on that child care.
Thank you.
Yep, thank you.
Senator Sparks, for what purpose?
Question, Mr.
You
President.
yield, Senator?
I do yield.
Go.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Line 207, these are not actually appropriation numbers. These are more of a performance metric expectation, I assume.
Yes, it looks like the SNAP funding.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So $716,413,100 is not an appropriation, because that's the same number we plugged last year. That's just an educated guess that somebody gave.
I would have to check and see if that number is the same as last year or not. I don't know.
It is. I'm just saying, yeah. So, but that's not the number. It will be whatever's actually drawn down based on eligibility, because as I understand it, this is paid 100% by the federal government.
Correct.
Okay, so if that number is 800 million or 900 million, it really don't matter in the sense of the general fund of the state.
Well, it'll matter if there's an error rate.
Well, it hadn't mattered until this year,
Yeah,
so
that's right.
you anticipated my question. That's the number, not that number, but whatever the real number is for the programmatic year that will be multiplied by either 5%, 10%, or 15%. And as I understand it, we will get a bill which will turn into a deficit appropriation request, most likely,
Probably so.
in the amount that, if we don't get our error rate down, of $128 million.
It'll either be anywhere from 0 to 120. It could be 0 if we're below 6%, and 6 to 8 it could be 40 million. 8 to 10 it'll be 80 million, and above 10 it's going to be 120 million dollars.
Okay, and last I checked, House Bill 1772 hadn't come to conference yet, and that bill we amended to go from change reporting to simplified reporting, which we were never above the 6% designated error rate prior to making that change, and we've never been below it since then.
Yeah, that's something I know we've all talked about in here, and I thought we'd even passed 2 bills with that simplified reporting position in it that would allow what we think DHS would have a better opportunity to be able to cut down on the error rate and hopefully reduce or eliminate the need for any extra funds put in by the state.
So since that bill's not dead yet, there's still hope.
Let's hope. Yeah, let's hope. Thank you. No other questions, Mr. President. I move adoption by the use of the afternoon roll call.
We have other questions on this bill.
Okay.
Senator Blunt, for what purpose? Passes on the questions. Okay. Any other questions? Any other questions? Seeing none,
Motion is passage by use of the afternoon roll call.
passage by afternoon roll call is requested. Anyone object to that procedure? Wish to be recorded as voting no. Present. Seeing none, the bill passes.
All right. Ask that we go to item 25 on today's calendar and have the title read.
Mr. Clerk, please read the title.
House Bill 1911, Appropriation, Insurance Department.
I move adoption of the conference report and ask that you recognize Senator Delano to explain
You
it.
recognize Senator Delano.
Final action for the Department of Insurance is $40,265,726. That is $1,917,898 less than LBR. The reason that there is a reduction is that in accordance with House Bill 939, we are moving the rural fire truck program over to DFA. So that was a total of a $2 million authority. We also added $25,000 to fleet management for maintenance for some of the vehicles that they have. So that, again, the total under LBR was $1,975,000. There is a section that's added that is based on it's contingent on the passage of Senate Bill 2406, which is a windstorm mitigation program. That is an amount of $15 million. And again, that's escalation authority for special funds should that bill be passed. That's an explanation of the conference report. I'll yield for any questions. If there are no questions, I'll move for adoption of the conference report based on the afternoon roll call.
Use of the afternoon roll call has been requested. Anyone object to that procedure? Wish to be recorded as voting no. Present? Seeing none, bill passes by use of the afternoon roll call.
Thank you, Mr. President. I ask we go to item 26 on the calendar and have the title read.
Mr. Clerk, please read the title.
House Bill 1912, Appropriation Medicaid Division of.
Move adoption of the conference report and ask to be recognized to explain.
You recognize, Senator.
Thank you. Final action for Medicaid is $8,563,225,907. The amount of general funds being utilized is $1,026,866,812. This does include what I mentioned previously, the capital expense fund increase of $100 million, along with a separate general fund increase of $100 million for operational expenses. We did increase some vacancy funding of $1,610,031 and $772,815 of that was general funds. The remainder federal funds. We did replace, as some of you know, our healthcare expendable fund balance is slowly going down, so we did replace the healthcare expendable funds with general funds. So essentially $120 million of general funds went into the Medicaid budget this year, and then $100 million of CapEx fund to get us to the $200 million that we're adding total for operational expenses for Medicaid. I'll yield for questions.
Questions on the bill. Senator Blunt?
Yes, for a question, please, Mr.
Will you
President.
yield, Senator?
I yield.
Senator Blunt, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. What did the Governor's Office Division of Medicaid ask for in an increase for this upcoming year?
Late in the game, the amount that was requested was about $240 million. I did speak with the governor about that. In dealing with the House, we had long negotiations on this budget, and kind of late in the game, we talked about what do we think we needed to get to be able to fund it, where it could continue to operate at the level kind of where it is right now. It would be about $200 million. That would probably include freezing maybe some of the reimbursement rates, but that $200 million is the number we all came to in discussions, House, Senate, and the governor's office.
I seem to remember early in the process they asked for an additional $390.
Correct, they did.
And is that amount, the newer reduced amount, is that what they're asking for, or is that what we're deciding to give them?
Well, it's what we decided to give them. It's the short answer. The long answer is, you know, like I do, we've been at this long enough to know every time Medicaid, it's not unusual for Medicaid to come out with a big number in January, and by the time we get to the end of the budget process, that number is typically lower. Not to say it couldn't go higher, but and this year, as you know, we came back in and funded Medicaid at a deficit of $35 million. So this is not included. We're doing that separately too. So there'll be a $35 million deficit for, from, after, and through on Medicaid this year, and then the additional $200 million that we've got in here in this budget. Now, I would be the first to tell you that is there a chance we'll walk back in and have another deficit next year in Medicaid? That's a very real possibility. I hope not. I hope our numbers go down in Medicaid. You hope that, as they continue to work managed care and continue to do some of the things they're doing, that they're going to help bring those costs down. But, we've been, and our federal match rate has gone back to where it was before. I do think our federal match rate will be to our benefit this coming year. I think the director of Medicaid told me that may help out a little bit. So we could, see, despite maybe some increase in healthcare costs, we could see the match rate helping us a little bit keep the cost in check.
So you think the match rate may be improved next year for us?
I think she told us it's going to help us out a little bit next year.
What changes that passed at the federal level last summer are impacting this budget? Are these federal changes that passed that are making their estimate go up, their initial request go up by so much?
Yeah, Corbin reminded me one thing. Since we've never expanded Medicaid, it's helped us out some compared to states that expanded Medicaid. But I don't think there was anything else in there that really changed us. Senator Blackwell will probably be able to answer those questions better since he's the chair of Medicaid. I just look at the monetary side. I'm not quite as attuned to what's going on as far as the technical aspects of Medicaid.
So we ended up doing plus 220 of general funds and capital expense over
Correct.
the preceding year, even after we added 35 to the preceding year, it's plus 220.
We did, well, let me make sure clear. We did plus 100 general funds, plus 100 CapEx, and then we replaced healthcare expendable funds with 20 million in general funds. So this is hitting us $120 million in general funds on this budget alone. So out of our margin we had going into this year on LBR, which is about 270 some odd $1 million, 120 of it's right here in this budget.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you.
Senator Hill, for what purpose?
He answered my question.
Thank you. Any other questions? Senator?
Move adoption of the conference report by use of the afternoon roll call.
Use of the afternoon roll call has been requested. Anyone object to that procedure? The court is voting no. Present? Seeing none. Bill passes by afternoon roll call. 27.
Mr. President, if I may, I would like at this point to move for unanimous consent to correct a clerical error in the bill that we just handled, and that would be House Bill 1912. So my motion is to seek unanimous consent for amending line 328.
You have to
seek unanimous consent, pardon me, to amend line 328 where it says section 2, and it be replaced with the number 3. So it should be section 3 instead of section 2.
It's a typo. Seeing no objections granted.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President. Move to item 27 on today's calendar and have the title read.
Mr. Clerk, please read the title.
House Bill 1913, appropriation, medical licensure board of.
Move adoption of the conference report and ask to be recognized to explain.
You're recognized to explain.
Thank you. The final action on the Board of Medical Licensure is $4,820,735. This includes $92,000 of rent increase as they have had to move buildings. They have a building they were in they had an opportunity whether they were going to renew the lease or not, and it did have leaks in the building and some other problems they were having, so they opted to move to a new building. It also includes $50,000 for cloud migration for a total of $142,000 total increase over LBR. I'll yield for questions. And this is all special funds, no general funds in this bill.
Seeing no objection.
My motion is adoption of the conference report by use of the afternoon roll call.
Use of the afternoon roll call has been requested. Does anyone object to that procedure? The court is voting no. Present? Seeing none. The bill passes by use of the afternoon roll call. Number 28, Senator.
Thank you. Ask that the title be read.
Mr. Clerk, please read the title.
House Bill 1921, appropriation, rehabilitation services department of.
I move adoption of the conference report and ask to be recognized to explain.
You're recognized to explain, Senator.
Thank you. Final action, $261,555,149. This includes general funds of $33,776,232. There was a grant for the Department of Rehab Services of $3,402,926. The majority of that was federal funds, but we did utilize some general funds of $724,824. Also included was $990,000 of federal funds that they're able to use for increasing their head count with the Department of Rehab Services. I'll yield for questions. If none, I move adoption of the conference report by use of the afternoon roll call.
Seeing no questions, use of the afternoon roll call has been requested. Anyone object? Court is voting no. Present? Bill passes by use of the afternoon roll call. We're on 29, Senator.
Thank you. Ask the title be read.
Mr. Clerk, please read the title.
House Bill 1924, appropriation, attorney general.
Move adoption of the conference report. Ask to be recognized to explain.
You're recognized to explain.
Thank you. Final action for the AG's office is $78,222,240. The general fund portion is $33,974,56. This includes vacancy funding of $299,000. The general fund portion of that is $254,150. This also includes $37,000 for a officer training department that they have at the AG's office. $37,237,000 general fund dollars. $2.5 million of special fund authority for the human trafficking fund. $3.9 million of opioid settlement funds, non-abatement, and $30,324,617 of abatement funds for grants. That's an explanation of the conference report. I'll be happy to answer questions.
Seeing none?
Seeing none, my motion is adoption of the conference report by use of the afternoon roll call.
Use of the afternoon roll call has been requested. Anyone object to that procedure? Court is voting no. Present? Seeing none, the bill passes by use of the afternoon roll call. Senator?
Thank you. Ask that we go to item 30 on today's calendar and have the title read.
Mr. Clerk, please read the title.
House Bill 1927, appropriation district attorneys and staff.
Move adoption of the conference report and ask to be recognized.
You recognize, Senator.
Final action for DAs and staff is $36,429,928. Of that, $35,938,126 is general funds. This does include we had one district, and I'm trying to remember, I think it's District 6 and 14. Senator Barrett's giving me the thumbs up. District 6, last year when we redistricted, that was short on an ADA and a criminal investigator. So we added general funds for one ADA and one criminal investigator. That's $291,823 of general funds, plus 3 new ADAs that were provided for last year in judicial redistricting. There was $4,000 of office expense, so a total of $12,000 for those 3 of general funds. So the increase above LBR is $303,823. I yield for questions.
Questions on the bill? Seeing none.
Motion is adoption of the conference report by use of the afternoon roll
Use of
call.
the afternoon roll call has been requested. Anyone object? Voting no. Present? Seeing none. Bill passes by use of the afternoon roll call. 31.
Thank you. Ask that the title be read.
Mr. Clerk, please read the title.
House Bill 1928, appropriation legislative expenses.
Move adoption of the conference report and ask to be recognized to explain.
You're recognized to explain the conference report.
Thank you, Mr. President. Final action for legislative operations is $41,031,684, of which $40,011,684 is general funds. One moment, Mr. President. All right, thank you, Mr. President. The changes were $250,000 of capital expense funds used for the Senate contingent fund. Last year, we had $750,000, I believe, or right at that lapsed last year of Senate funds. This is putting some of those funds back. $200,000 of CapEx for computer equipment that Elbow needs at their staff offices. $120,000 of CapEx for expenses related to reapportionment, and then $400,000 to continue. I think this will be the final year, Senator Barr, of the Glimpse program that's being utilized for the reviews of savings within our school districts across the state. So a total of $970,000 of capital expense funds total. That's all of that was capital expense funds over LBR. I'll yield for questions.
Questions on the bill? Seeing none, Senator.
If none, my motion is to adopt the conference report by use of the afternoon roll call.
You recognize, the afternoon roll call has been requested. Does anyone object to that procedure? Request being no. Present? Bill passes by use of the afternoon roll call.
Ask that we go to item 32 on the calendar and have the title read.
Mr. Clerk, please read the title.
House Bill 1929, Appropriation for Public Employees Retirement System.
Move adoption of the conference report and ask to be recognized to explain.
You're recognized.
Thank you. Final action for the PERS administrative staff. It's all special funds. It's $21,201,795. This does include authority to have vacancy funding of $289,586 and included no more than $800,000 is used for building maintenance and repair. I'll yield for questions.
Questions? Seeing none.
My motion is adoption of the conference report by use of the afternoon roll call.
Use of the afternoon roll call has been requested. Anyone object? Board is voting no. Present. Seeing none, the bill passes by use of the afternoon roll call.
Thank you. I ask that we go to item 33 and have the title read.
Mr. Clerk, please read the title.
1930 Appropriation, State Public Defender Office.
I move adoption of the conference report and ask to be recognized to explain.
You're recognized to explain the conference report, Senator.
Thank you. The final action for the Office of Public Defender is $5,407,027. Of that, the general fund portion, $4,678,350. This includes $150,000 of CapEx funds for family defenders and youth court, and $578,677 for the second year of the Rural Legal Services Pilot Program, which is looking at working through a statewide, seeing how it would work if we had a statewide public defender program. And so the total increase, all CapEx funds, is $728,677. We do have some conditional language about reports that need to be provided, and that's it, Mr. President. I'll yield for questions.
Senator Suber, for what purpose?
Question.
Yield for questions, Senator?
I do yield.
Senator Suber is recognized.
Thank you, Senator Hobson. Taking my question. On this pilot program, did we have any kind of data back on the effect of the program?
I'm going back to the subcommittee hearing. I'm trying to remember. I know I was there when Andre presented, and I don't remember that he provided a lot. I do think that he thinks, and some others seem generally favorable about that, but I don't know that there's enough back to tell us, if it's a go. I know there's some things to consider. Obviously, you got to consider the cost versus the, how much that would cost. And in some areas where it is a little more difficult to get representation on criminal defense, and other areas where it's probably not so good. And one of the things that I know we have to be cognizant about is in a lot of our rural areas, you've got the lawyers that's part of the bread and butter for those lawyers. So if you take away that, you certainly could affect their ability to continue to practice in some of our rural areas, and we don't want to do that.
Now, did we expand the program this year compared to last year, or was it level funding?
I think we do have some funding for that this year, and Senator Wiggins, who handles that one, it says there was one attorney added.
Okay.
And it's the 5th Circuit District, it appears.
Is this something maybe next year we can get some data and see kind of if there is any kind of increase, or if it is actually helping at all?
Yes, and it's CapEx funds. I did explain that. Corbin's reminded me last year they didn't even really get started till October, and so it just has not been enough time to really evaluate the program.
Well, that's kind of why I'm curious why we're adding another attorney if they're just now getting started.
Can you repeat that?
I said that's why I was wondering, why we're adding another attorney if they're just now getting started. I mean, do we really know or have any numbers or see kind of where they're going before we start expanding a program?
Sure. Well, I think that it's felt that we're having some places where we're having a hard time for criminal defendants being able to get representation in their areas.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Senator Suber.
Other questions? Seeing none.
Motion is to adopt the conference report by use of the afternoon roll call.
Afternoon roll call has been requested. Anyone object? Mr. Clerk is voting no. President? President Suber. President McCon. President Thompson. President Barrett. Anyone else? Seeing none, the bill passes. Use of the afternoon roll call. Senator? 34.
All right, so we go to item 34 and have the title read.
Mr. Clerk, please read the title.
House Bill 1931, Appropriations, Supreme Court, Court of Appeals, and Trial Judges Services.
Thank you, Mr. President. If you'll, one moment, please. I move adoption of the conference report and ask to be recognized to explain.
You recognize, Senator.
All right, thank you, Mr. President. Final action for the Office of Supreme Court Services, and we've got a few different budgets under this. For Supreme Court Services is $8,112,015, and in that portion we have reductions of general funds for funding and IT finance positions. We've also got reductions of general funds for salary increases that were half-year salary increases, so that's $86,944. This does include setting up, this includes a few things under this, is funds to defray the cost of the adult felony drug court program, also includes some participant numbers of scales for funds to go to youth court programs based on the number of people that are involved in those. This has the continuation of mental health treatment courts that we've talked about. Just FYI, those mental health treatment courts, we've had them for a few years and really have requested, have not received the information that we want, have requested to get a report to us next year to see the overall effectiveness of these, because these may need to be either expanded, reduced, or consolidated with some of the other intervention courts. There's setting the salaries as part of that 4-year period recommended by the State Personnel Board. These salaries were reduced from LBR. They had actually been higher in LBR, but they were reduced back to a number that was at market level, which the salaries that had been in LBR were above market level. We have the AOC portion of the budget, which is $42,001,055. Of that is $17,790,761 of general funds. This includes reduction due to some CCID judges and staff that were, some of that had been moved out. Also, we added some for IT and finance positions of $1,649,580. We have general fund salaries and HR staff and accounting staff for $157,959. Vacancy funding $335,299. The general fund portion $49,349. We've got CapEx funds to fund the change in the My Kids. That's the youth court intake system where we keep up with all the youth court placements, and we started that a few years ago. This also includes special funds for the MEC. That's the Mississippi Electronic Courts. $280,000. That's paid for by the users of that. And then $2 million of the opioid funds come through the AOC budget, and that's for intervention in youth courts, and that's going to be the opioid funding that we've got. This also includes the Board of Bar Admissions. That's $383,426. That's all special funds. It includes the special fund authority to pay for the next gen bar exam, which is mandated by July of 2028. This includes, and that's going to be over, I think we funded that over, planning on funding that over the course of a couple of years. It includes CLE, again, special funds, $332,997. The Court of Appeals, $7,239,121, of which $7,062,759 is general funds. And that includes some reductions and removal of 4 headcounts there, and the salary reduction that we talked about. And then finally, are the trial judges, which is $64,506,101. The general fund portion of that is $40,011,007. And we have a few things in that budget. $4 million of special fund authority for the court reporters raise, and that was done, that allowed them to freelance also 100% county paid for that, so it's not any state, not any general funds. $906,727 of general funds for the salaries that we moved over from the CCID judges, and then $114,132 for the chancellor that was added in the, I don't remember what district it was up in North Mississippi. I think it was in that DeSoto area, DeSoto County area. And then $152,000 of general funds for staff, office, and rent for that new chancellor. $1,292,000 of the 10 judges that were added in redistricting last year. $66,000, and that's a partial year on. I mean, that's the full amount, but that's some of that's done on partial year. Then we had $66,757 for the travel that associated with those 10 judges that were added by redistricting, and the reductions that I mentioned previously on the judicial salary. That was $1,495,226 on that. So I'll yield for questions.
No questions, Senator.
My motion is adoption of the conference report by use of the afternoon roll call.
Senator suggests use the afternoon roll call, final passage. Any senator object? Anyone wish to be recorded as voting no? Seeing none, please record all present by the use of the afternoon roll calls voting on the bills. The conference report has passed. Senator.
Thank you. I'm asking to go to item 35 and have the title read.
Please read title.
House Bill 1934, Appropriation Arts Commission.
I move adoption of the conference report and ask to be recognized and explained.
You're recognized to explain.
Final action is $7,875,150, of which $1,625,312 is general funds. This does include critical salaries for the grant director. That's general fund $64,648, $7,838 vacancy funding, general funds, and $50,000 of CapEx for compliance, ADA compliance updates to the agency website, and $3.5 million of CapEx for building fund for the arts and grants program. I'll yield for questions if there are any.
No questions, Senator.
A motion is adopted the conference report by use of the afternoon roll call.
The senator suggests to use the afternoon roll call, final passage. Any senator object? Anyone wish to be recorded as voting no? Seeing none, please record all present by the use of the afternoon roll call as voting aye, and the conference report is passed. Senator.
Yes, we'll go to item 36 and have the title read.
Please read title.
House Bill 1935, Appropriation Education Department.
I move adoption of the conference report and ask that you recognize Senator DeBar to explain.
Senator DeBar, you're recognized to explain.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Before I explain, I just want to give you some numbers that's funding education this year. Total amount of all source of money, state and federal special funds for K through 12 education this year is $5.35 billion, which is $111 million over LBR and $121 million over last year. So we are increasing the amount being spent on education this year. I'll also remind everyone that this is the last year for the hold harmless on the funding formula. There are 31 districts that will lose the hold harmless, and so they'll be funded based on the number of students that they have rather than the hold harmless that we held them for. As you recall, there are several programs within the K through 12 budget, and I'll start with some of the easier ones and the shorter ones. The Charter School Authorizer Board, their final action is $1,403,231, which is about $3,000 over LBR, or actually is LBR. the Chickasaw interest, that is the federal formula. Final action is LBR, which is $21,623,074. For vocational and technical education, final action is $115,203,861, which is approximately $6 million over LBR. That accounts for the teacher pay raise, which I'll explain shortly. The student funding formula. The final action is $3,074,612,048, which is approximately $100 million more than last year and $75 million more than last year. LBR, excuse me. The base student cost is $7,201.77. For general education programs, I'll start by saying this. We are doing across the board pay raise of $2,000 for teachers, teacher assistants, SPED. We're doing a SPED supplement of $2,000. And we are also doing an increase in pay for school attendance officers of $5,000. Total amount for the pay raises for the teachers, the TAs, is approximately $108 million. We're also doing a $2,000 raise, a supplement for occupational therapists as well as school psychologists. The final action of general education budget is $2,141,126,580, which is about $31 million over LBR. Going through the general education budget, like I said, we're having a $2,000 special education supplement, which it's in section 48, which is about $14 million. We are in section 50, going to have the literacy initiative, the adolescent literacy, and this will come in the general education conference report, which we are working on now. That is $9 million. We have the Math Act that we passed earlier, section 51, it's roughly $3.48 million. As I indicated, in section 26, we have the school attendance officer pay raise of $5,000. That is just shy of $1 million. That will also include adding 9 more school attendance officers. That will allow for 1 SAO per 4,000 students. We are including $5.1 million for state testing contract increase. We are including $121,000 for financial literacy coordinator. In our general education conference report, we are including the JP Wileman financial literacy class. Section 52 is the OT supplement of $2,000. Section 53 is a school psychologist $2,000 supplement. We have an increase to the RCU contract at Mississippi State of $67,000. And we also have a $14,000 increase to the ESA scholarship budget, raising that to just over $5 million, and that will fully fund all scholarship applicants. We are removing several items in the general education budget, one of them being the school safety platform. The department will not be funding that any longer. We are also removing in section 13 several line items that were being paid to third-party vendors. We're deleting Amplified Data Coaching, Teach for America. We are combining Jumpstart and Mastery Prep into one line item, ACT Prep, which will have an RFP. CanU University, Art for All, and that'll save approximately $2.1 million. So, as I said, we are doing a $2,000 pay raise for most, for the teachers and so forth. That will be inside the formula this year. That is the reason for the BSC, the base student cost increased. That was something the House was for. We would like to have kept it outside the formula, but we had no problem putting in the formula this year. It didn't make much difference in the long run. So that's why we put in the formula, and that is an explanation. I'll yield for any questions, Mr. President.
Senator Barrett, for what purpose?
Question, Mr. President.
You yield, Senator Barrett.
Yes, I do.
Senator, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Senator DeBar. I know we have spoken before about two entities from my districts that have been eliminated from the budget. Why are entities such as Algebra Nation, why do they remain in the budget and Mississippi companies are not?
Well, that was just we come to an agreement on, and actually that budget was actually cut. I think it's down to $950. It was actually higher than that last year. As you know, I've tried to decrease the number of line items to third-party vendors in the budget in this bill, and so that's kind of what we've done.
Are there any statistics of how many programs, how many school systems use Algebra Nation?
Excuse me?
Are there statistics, metrics to show how many districts use Algebra Nation?
Yeah, we've seen that, and I've heard from districts. In our second action, we removed Algebra Nation, and since then, I've actually heard from districts that use it. I think with the funding formula changes and the pay raises that we've been doing, I think this is a way to tighten up our budget. That way, we can ensure going forward that we can fund the priorities rather than giving up to third parties. Nothing said the local district can't use Math Nation or Jumpstart or whatever they so choose. It's just if the department wants to help fund them, they can on their funds.
Sure. With regard to the ACT prep, I see there's a $350,000 budget. How will local districts apply for that?
Well, there'll be an RFP by any ACT prep contractor put out forth by the department, and then if that'll allow, we've been told that by the department that they can cover the state for $350,000. Previously we were paying two companies $225 each, and so this is a way to maybe save some money. Nothing requires a district to use one contractor over the other. They're still allowed to use whatever contractor they prefer, if any.
Well, I would agree, but it seems like as a whole, we're doing this for ACT prep, but not algebra. It just seems a little strange, but thank you for taking my question.
Thank you, Senator.
Senator Michelle, what purpose?
Question, please.
You yield?
Yes, I do.
Senator Michelle.
Thank you. Senator Barr, best I can recall, for each $1,000 in teacher pay raise for K through 12, it equates to about $50 to $52 million a year. On these extra categories that we've included in this, what is the cost per $1,000?
Per thousand, we're roughly $54 million.
And that includes community colleges as well?
No, the community colleges were funded through the universities and colleges budget. I think that, isn't that right? Okay. And that'll be covered later, is what I'm being told, but yes.
So this is teacher assistants and
teachers,
SPED officers?
Teacher assistants, CT instructors, correct.
Thank you.
Yes.
Senator McClendon, what purpose?
Question, please.
Do you yield?
I do.
Senator McClendon.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for your work on this. I know that earlier in the year we passed a teacher pay raise that stair-stepped in 3 years. And then the House passed one on their side that was just a straight number of 5,000. Is there any agreement, or is in this any additional for upcoming years?
No, this is just a one-year increase of $2,000. With the way things are on the revenues and expenditures we got going, you heard about Medicaid and so forth, and you know about PERS and all the other expenditures we're having. There's nothing that says we can't do a pay raise next year. However, we didn't want to lock ourselves in to something now that we couldn't fund, and that way we didn't want to cut somewhere, raise taxes. We wanted to be prudent, and that's why we only went 1 year at this point in time.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Senator.
Senator Hill, For what purpose?
Question.
Do you yield?
Yes, I do.
Senator Hill.
Have we been funding ACT prep in the past?
We have.
So it's a new RFP, a new RFQ, or what's the difference?
So in the past, we had two contractors that were being funded at $225,000 each, $450,000.
Gotcha.
Department has indicated that they can go ahead, cover the entire state with one contractor for $100,000 or less.
So what are these contractors actually doing? Do you know what they're actually doing? Because, I mean, most ACT prep that I always use was free. I mean, you can get the tests, you can get questions, you can get all kinds of prep for free. So I guess my interest is, what are these contractors actually doing to prep kids for ACT?
And I've seen the programs, and I think, you know, I haven't seen the free ones, of course, but the ones that they have out there that have been used in the past have been successful.
So like a digital platform?
They're
or
online, you know, the students will go online and just start, they have people that work with them, you know, interact with them face to face and so forth.
Okay. I was just curious as to what they actually do. And the other question is, you mentioned something about an increase in testing, what is that for?
The testing contract that we have renews every 10 years.
With Questar? Or who we got it with now?
It's the same contractor that we've had.
And we're renewing it again?
Renewing again.
After all the problems we've had with them, we're renewing it again?
For another 10 years, yes.
Senator, I really hate that that's going on. I really, truly do. And I know you're probably doing the best that you can.
I think the contract's already been signed.
I am not at all laying the blame on you, so don't think that I am. But as a state, I would hope that we could do better than what we've had.
Yeah.
And these teachers know that this is not what we need. I know that this is not what we need.
Yep.
But thank you for your work.
I know you have concerns. I've got the same ones. I've voiced those to the department, and we're at where we're at.
But you know, we can put language in these bills to stop it, can't we?
Well, I don't know if we can, maybe in the 10 years when they get renewed again, I don't know if we can impede contracts and so forth. That would be a problem, I believe, yes.
Yeah, I guess, you know, you're screwed one way or the other. You vote against it, you're voting against education funded, but yet you're voting for 10 more years of this stuff.
I understand.
Thank you.
Senator Suber, for what purpose?
Question.
Do you yield?
Yes, I do.
Senator Suber.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Senator Barr, for your work on this. I did notice there at the end that you mentioned the occupational therapist and the school psychologist. Did you know, you and I talked about the physical therapist also. I was just curious why they would be included, because they kind of work hand in hand with occupational therapists.
Just couldn't reach an agreement on that at this point in time. Something we can look at in the future. I know you voiced your support for that. We've included it before. We just need to keep working on it in the future.
Yeah. Well, a lot of my concern is our physical therapists. Most of them are kind of doctorate level, and you know, our occupational for the most part are bachelor's level. So that's something I'd like to look at in the future.
I think so. I think you're on the right track. We just need to see where we're at moving forward.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Senator.
Senator Barr, there's no further questions or motion.
Move for adoption of the conference report by the afternoon roll call.
The senator suggests the use of afternoon roll call final passage. Any senator object? Any senator wish to be recorded as voting no? Seeing none, Senator Hill? Senator Hill, no. Anyone else? Senator Chisholm, no. Anyone else? Seeing no others, please record all others present by the use of the afternoon roll call as voting aye. Conference report is passed. Thank you, Senator. Senator Hobson.
Thank you, Mr. President. As to go to item 37, have the title read.
Please read the title.
House Bill 1936, Appropriation Educational Television Authority for.
Move adoption of the conference report and ask you recognize Senator DeBar to explain.
Senator DeBar, you're recognized to explain.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. ETV, or Mississippi Public Broadcasting, as you all know it, final action is $13,732,911. That is $600,000 over LBR. That $600,000 increase, is for tower maintenance. As you know, for several years we've tried to repair and replace all the towers, the transmission towers. We've been able to do 1 or 2 every year, and that's all this is. It's just $600,000 for that tower to get repaired. So that's all. That's it. Everything, Mr. President. I'll yield for any questions if there are any.
No questions, Senator.
Move for adoption of the conference report by use of the morning roll call.
Senator suggests the use of the afternoon roll call for final passage. Any senator object? Anyone wish to be recorded as voting no? Senator Hill is present. Anyone else? Senator Hartness as present? No. Senator Hartness is no. Senator Chisholm is no. Anyone else? Seeing no others, please record all others present by use of afternoon roll calls voting aye, and the conference report is passed. Item 38, Senator.
Ask that we have the title read.
Please read the title.
House Bill 1938, Appropriation Transportation Department.
I move adoption of the conference report and ask to be recognized to explain.
You're recognized to explain.
Thank you. The DOT bill is in 2 parts. One is the general portion that's $1,565,117,653. That's all special funds, and then infrastructure expenses of $645 million. Again, all special funds. This includes the vacancy funding of $55,236 federal funds, and the remainder in other special funds, gas tax, and other items they get. They have frontline worker issues we debated on for a while. This is some of the road crews and other technicians. They have salary, special fund authority only, no general funds here, but $1,646,720, $500,000 for leave payments, vacancy funding, other vacancy funding, $1,865,422, and the authority to utilize the fuel tax increase of $83,027,556. Also included is the $40 million for the IIJA match funding, and I think this is our last year on that. Yes, it is. $40 million for that match for the extra federal funds that we've gotten. $150 million for capacity projects, and y'all know that MDOT's got a list of capacity projects, so this will knock off starting at the top of their capacity project list. And then $10 million for multimodal, which is our ports, airports, and rail. So $200 million total increase over LBR funding. I'll yield for questions.
Senator Whaley, what purpose?
For a question, please.
You yield, Senator Whaley.
I do yield.
Senator,
yes.
you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for taking my question. Within the funding, do we set direct funding for each of the transportation districts, say south, central, north? Are they split up, or are they all joined in?
They're all together.
Okay. Within that, you have your district offices, and then you have your county offices. With the pins for employees in each of these, I know that they have stated troubles hiring people in certain areas. Do those pins fluctuate from office to office, or are they set specifically for one?
They should be set statewide.
Okay. After we get finished with this, I'd like to sit down and talk with you a little bit about how those pins are directed, where I can get a better understanding.
Now, they could, how they're directed could be that they may need more in one area than the other, and they can move those pins around. So if they need a bigger head count in, the north or the south, central, whatever, they could probably, I'm sure they can move those around. There's no prohibition on that.
Well, I guess more of my question is within the districts, and I'm thinking some of the county offices, I know, say, if you go towards, I know the main one in Batesville, they have a lot of employees, where if you go to, say, the one in Marshall County, they only have 2 or 3 employees. What I'm wanting to make sure is that they don't expend these pins to one area and purposely leave one out. So I just like to get with you later on that.
Sure, and I'd be happy to talk with the director, Brad White, and the transportation commissioners themselves to see, maybe get a plan for what they're doing with their, their worker display or placement around the state, distribution around the state.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Senator Whaley.
Okay, no further questions, Senator. Motion.
Motion is adoption of the conference report by use of the afternoon roll call.
Senator suggests the use of the afternoon roll call, final passage. Any senator object? Anyone wish to be recorded as voting no? Seeing none, please record all present by the use of the afternoon roll call is voting aye, and the conference report is passed. Senator Hobson. Item 39.
Thank you, Mr. President. Go to item 39, have the title read.
Please read title.
House Bill 1939 appropriations, additional appropriations for various state agencies.
My motion is to adopt the conference report and ask to be recognized to explain.
You're recognized to explain.
Thank you, Mr. President. This is, as I told you early on, that we will have a number of deficit bills, and this is the next one. And some of these are repeats from previous items we've discussed before in here. We may have one, even two more before it's all over, because sometimes, in fact, today I received something about a potential deficit that we'll have to consider. But this is the latest and greatest on this. First of all, it's the $35 million for Medicaid that we've discussed a number of times. I've even discussed it with Senator Blunt, responded to Senator Blunt's questions on Medicaid. So we've got that in there. That's capital expense funds. These are agreement with the House, too. Capital expense funds. $15 million for CPS. This is dealing with the number of children that they have in custody. They had given us a number at one point, and y'all know that we're trying to get those into places like Canopy when it gets finished, and a coastal area too, to get some of these children out of these hotel rooms and get them into facilities where they can utilize joint staff, and it's a more secure place. And this also includes expenses for therapeutic placements for some that are out of state, and temporary placements, foster board payments, etc. Also, we have another $5 million for CPS for this Harrison County facility, specifically designed for fixing up this Harrison County facility that they're going to utilize to place some of these children that they have in their care. Recently, and this is a good example, y'all know about the fire down at the Fairgrounds Trade Mart. The Ag Commission and Department of Agriculture and Commerce is going to need CapEx funds of $1,496,000, $1,496,000. That includes $500,000 deductible, and it includes $996,000 for repairs. We do have language in that bill that says that upon reimbursement from insurance, that $996,000 will be plugged back into CapEx where it comes from, but they need some of that immediately. $250,000 for the lawsuit concerning the airport. That's general funds to the Attorney General. I'm sorry, capital expense funds to the Attorney General. Also, we've got the $196,000 of special funds for the NDA grant program, which is part of those NDA projects that we passed a few weeks ago, and that's just special fund authority. Veterans Affairs Board, $678,385. And this is for those that have been here. You know, this is part of the Affordable Care Act penalty reimbursement that had been compromised previously, and we're paying that off. Then the Board of Animal Health needed $5,234 of special fund authority for expenses related to an outbreak response to I think it's the avian flu. And then finally is MEMA for the NG 911 expenses related to startup costs that they need to get going with, and that's $2,257,000. That too is special funds. I'll yield for questions.
See no questions, Senator.
Seeing none, my motion is adoption of the conference report by use of the afternoon roll call.
The senator suggested use of the afternoon roll call for final passage. Any senator object? Anyone wish to be recorded as voting no? Seeing none, please record all present with the use of afternoon roll call as voting aye, and the conference report is passed. Senator,
Ask to go to item 40 and have the title read.
please read title.
Senate Bill 2924, appropriation additional for MEMA for purposes authorized under the Disaster Assistance Trust Fund.
A motion that we recommit for further conference.
Motion is recommit for further conference. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. The ayes have it. Recommitted. Senator,
Ask to go to item 41, have the title read.
please read title.
Senate Bill 3051, appropriation finance and administration department of.
A motion that we recommit for further conference.
Motion is recommit for further conference. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. The ayes have it. Recommitted. Item 42, Senator.
Ask to go to item 42 and have the title read.
Please read title.
Senate Bill 3053, appropriation IHL general support.
My motion is to adopt the conference report and ask to be recognized to explain.
You're recognized to explain.
Thank you, Mr. President. Final action for our general support for IHL is $1,690,925,757. Of that, $379,154,701 is general funds. This includes $40 million that was used for repairs and renovations for our university campuses. So we've got $40 million of R&R money. This is outside of what we call the CapEx or bond type money. So that's in addition to that. We've got the EEF utilized to do the teacher pay raises, professor pay raises, and that's $12,013,848, and then $1.4 million is for opioid settlement funding. This is for the Ole Miss repository and the dashboard MSU training. So a total increase of over LBR is $53,413,848. I yield for questions.
Senator Blunt, for what purpose?
Question.
You yield, Senator Blunt.
I do yield.
Senator Blunt, you recognize.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. Chairman, first on the buildings question, you referenced there's some money in this budget as well as, I guess, some coming later in a different budget. What's the total amount for IHL and for community college just for facilities when you're taking those two budgets together?
Well, this one's $40 million, I think, for the community, just R&R only. Trying to remember where we settled on the R&R, and there would be some other CapEx funds, so I'd have to get you the total amount for both of those. 20 community colleges, I think, for R&R, but there could be some other funds that will be CapEx type. It's CapEx is what it is. It's not really bond, and that would likely be in the transfer bill.
So some will be in the 20 in the transfer bill, and then CapEx money that's appropriated in this bill?
The R&R is appropriated in this bill.
Okay.
Yeah, and we're using the EEF funds to do that.
And tell me about the raise.
The raise, I'm glad you brought that up. One thing I left out that's important, I'm going to ask for unanimous consent when we finish up all the IHL and community colleges bills, because the language that we had in there was on the $2,000 pay raise by professors. What we have traditionally done with our universities and community colleges is we give the equivalent of the $2,000 and then give the authority for the institutional executive officer to utilize those funds to make the raises where they might need them or where they feel like there's the most demand or the people they need to keep the most. Sometimes it just comes down to that. They've got a professor that's in high demand and he or she's potentially going to go somewhere else. So it gives them the authority to bump those up. And they may have some and that'll be up to each IEO. They may decide they want to give a smaller here and a bigger there, but that's what I'm going to ask for unanimous consent. And that is the way, since I've been appropriations chair, that's the way we've always done the raises at the higher ed level.
So we're essentially funding a pay raise for just instructional people who teach classes.
Yes.
At community colleges and IHL for 2,000, and we're letting each individual institution adjust that, but it's just strictly to go into people who teach classes, and somebody gets a little bit less, somebody gets a little bit more. That's decided at the campus level.
Correct, and that would include all professors and adjunct professors too. So we've got it funding in there for that, and so those funds would also assist the universities to be able to utilize it that way, and then again could free up some other funds they could otherwise use for whatever else they might want to do on their campuses.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Blunt.
Senator Williams, what purpose?
Question, Mr. President.
Do you yield, Senator
I do
Williams?
yield.
Senator Williams?
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you for your work, as always. You mentioned a moment ago $20 million in R&R. Is that specifically for R&R purposes?
Yes.
I know as we've gone around, a lot of times R&R is utilized properly and sometimes it's not, so it's a restricted number this year.
What we will be doing, if everything goes according to plan, would be the R&Rs used for things like roof replacements, and you got a building that's cracking, and you've got a foundational issue or whatever it is that they consider repair and renovation.
Yes, sir. Simply taking care of what we got,
correct,
not what we're building.
Correct. And there will be something else coming later that should be trying to help them, what I will say, move the needle a little bit on some other building projects they may have that are more specific in nature.
Yes, sir. Thank you, and I think it's great to have it specifically aired out.
Yes, thank you so much.
No further questions, Senator.
My motion is adoption of the conference report by use of the afternoon roll call.
Senator suggests the use of the afternoon roll call, final passage. Any senator object? Anyone wish to be recorded as voting no? Seeing none, please record all present by the use of afternoon roll call as voting aye, and the conference report is passed. Senator, 43.
Thank you, Mr. President. As to the title be read.
Please read title.
Senate Bill 3054, appropriation IHL subsidiary programs.
Move adoption of the conference report and ask to be recognized to explain.
You're recognized to explain.
Thank you, Mr. President. The overall, and for those of you that know about the subsidiary programs, we've got 21 maybe. Senator Parks probably know the exact amount. I used to know the exact amount, but anyway, about 21 subsidiary programs around the state that are essentially housed with our universities or run through our universities. So the consolidated portion of all those amount is $87,954,384. The general fund portion of that's $39,927,392, and the pay raise portion that would be included in that of general funds is $121,968, and that would obviously affect the various places around the state that have the professor pay raises, which include CAVS and CME, Mental Resources, Stennis Institute, GCRL, and RIPS programs around the state of Mississippi. I'll yield for questions.
No questions, Senator.
Seeing none, my motion is adopted the conference report by use of the afternoon roll call.
The Senator suggests the use of the afternoon roll call, final passage. Any senator object? Anyone wish to be recorded as voting no? Seeing none, please record all present by use of the afternoon roll call as voting aye, and the conference report is passed. Senator?
Thank you, Mr. President. Go to item 44 and have the title read.
Please read title.
Senate Bill 3055, appropriation IHL Alcorn State Agricultural Programs.
I move adoption of the conference report and ask to be recognized to explain.
You're recognized to explain, Senator.
Thank you. This is Alcorn State's ag program, and this is going to be consistent with all 5 of our ag programs. You know, Alcorn State has their program. Mississippi State has 4 programs within the ag arena, which includes vet, wildlife, the extension services, and forestry, I think. And anyway, but all of those, what we've done is an across-the-board 3% operational increase for all 5 of those, and we've done the pay raises through there too. So as you'll see in this budget, the total general fund increase for Alcorn State is going to be $238,000. We did the pay raises through EEF, and that's $101,640. So the total increase over LBR is $339,640. I'll yield for questions.
No questions, Senator.
My motion is suggests passage by use of the afternoon roll call.
The Senator suggests the use of the afternoon roll call, final passage. Any senator object? Anyone wish to be recorded as voting no? Seeing none, please record all present by use of the afternoon roll call as voting aye, and the conference report is passed. Senator Hobson.
Ask the title to item 45 be read, please.
Please read title.
Senate Bill 3056, appropriation IHL Mississippi State University Agricultural and Forest Experiment Station.
Move adoption of the conference report and ask to be recognized for explain.
You're recognized to explain.
Thank you. Final action for Ag and Forestry Experiment Station in Mississippi State is $36,595,371. That includes, again, this is going to be consistent for all of these. That includes the contractual services, operational expenses increase of $1,009,000 in general funds, and the salaries $365,904 in EEF. I yield for questions.
No questions, Senator.
Move adoption of the conference report by use of the afternoon roll call.
The Senator suggests use of the afternoon roll call for final passage. Any senator object? Any senator wish to be recorded as voting no? Seeing none, please record all present for use afternoon roll call voting aye. The conference report is passed. Senator Hobson.
Thank you. Ask that we go to item 6 on the calendar and have the title read.
Please read the title.
Senate Bill 3057, appropriation IHL Mississippi State University Cooperative Extension Service.
Move adoption of the conference report and ask to be recognized to explain.
You recognize to explain.
Final action is $53,115,152. The general fund portion is $34,365,575. That also includes, in addition to the two things we've got on all of these budgets, it also includes $2 million of special fund authority for travel and operational expenditures for the county service extension programs, and $2 million of special fund authority for commodities within the county services program. That's all special funds, allowing them to utilize those special funds. I'll yield for questions.
No questions, Senator.
Move adoption of the conference report by use of the afternoon roll call.
Senator suggests use of afternoon roll call, final passage. Any senator object? Anyone wish to be recorded as voting no? Seeing none, please record all present by use of afternoon roll call voting aye, and the conference report is passed. Item 47, Senator Hobson.
Thank you. Ask the title be read.
Please read the title.
Senate Bill 3058, appropriation IHL Mississippi State University Forest and Wildlife Research Center.
Move adoption of the conference report and ask to be recognized to explain.
You recognize to explain.
Thank you. Final action for Forest and Wildlife Research Center is $7,969,566. General fund portion $6,482,062. This just includes the two items we've discussed before. Total $189,000 for the contractual services and operational expenditures, and $111,804 to EEF for salary increases. Are you up for questions?
No questions, Senator.
Move adoption of the conference report by use of the afternoon roll call.
Senator suggests use of afternoon roll call for final passage. Any senator object? Anyone wish to be recorded as voting no? Seeing none, please record all present by use of afternoon roll call as voting aye, and the conference report is passed. Senator Hobson.
Go to item 48. Thank you, and have the title read, please.
Please read the title.
Senate Bill 3059, appropriation IHL Mississippi State University Veterinary Medicine College.
Move adoption of the conference report. Ask to be recognized to explain.
You recognize to explain.
Thank you, Mr. President. Final action for veterinary medicine at Mississippi State, $77,533,544. General fund portion, $20,366,792. In addition to the increases there, we've got the special fund authority for the vet school. As you know, they're in the process of building essentially not a new vet school, but a big project to update the vet school, and this includes special fund authority of $16,456,983, and also the $60,000 that we've previously done for the Rural Veterinary Scholars Program, the Mac Huddleston program. I think we're in year 3 of that, maybe year 4, year 3, Corbin says. So we're going to do at least one more year, and then we'll have the 2 scholarships per year for 4-year rotating, rolling, continuing that hopefully for a long time. It's a good program for the vets that go to these rural areas. I'll yield for questions if there are any.
No questions, Senator.
Seeing none, motion is or suggest use of the afternoon roll call for final passage.
Senator suggests use of afternoon roll call final passage. Any senator object? Anyone wish to be recorded as voting no? Seeing none, please record all present by use of afternoon roll call as voting aye. Conference report has passed. Item 49, Senator.
One moment, Mr. President. Thank you. Ask that we go to 49, have the title read.
Please read the title.
Senate Bill 3060, appropriation IHL student financial aid.
I move adoption of the conference report and ask to be recognized to explain.
Recognized to explain.
Thank you. The funding for our student financial aid is $56,904,024. The general fund portion is $47,261,364. This includes an increase of $5,100,000 for our scholarships that we have, our student financial aid scholarships for HELP, MESG, and MTAG. I'll yield for questions. And that's coming out of EEF. I didn't say that.
Okay, no questions, Senator.
Move adoption of the conference report by use of the afternoon roll call.
Senator suggests use of afternoon roll call final passage. Any senator object? Anyone wish to be recorded as voting no? Seeing none, please record all present by use of afternoon roll calls. Voting aye, and the conference report is passed. Item 50, Senator.
Thank you. Ask the title be read.
Please read the title.
Senate Bill 3061, appropriation IHL University of Mississippi Medical Center.
Move adoption of the conference report and has to be recognized to explain.
You're recognized to explain.
Thank you. This final action for UMMC is $2,414,666,213. The general fund portion is $190,004,192. This does include $5 million of CapEx funds for R&R work at UMMC. I'll yield for questions.
No questions, Senator.
My motion is passage by use of the morning roll call, afternoon roll call.
Senator suggests to use the afternoon roll call for final passage. Any senator object? Any senator wish to be recorded as voting no? Senator Sparks not voting. Anyone else? Seeing no others, please record all others present as voting aye, and the bill is passed by use of the morning afternoon roll call. Item 51, Senator.
One moment, Mr. President. I would ask that we pass on item 51, and you can move that to the heel of the calendar.
We will pass item 51, move to the heel of the calendar. Item 52, Senator.
Thank you, Mr. President. One moment again. All right, I'm sorry, Mr. President. I think we were on item 52.
Yes, sir.
As the title be read.
Please read the title.
Senate Bill 3063, appropriation community and junior colleges board support for community and junior colleges.
I move adoption of the conference report and ask to be recognized to explain.
You recognize to explain.
Thank you, Mr. President. Final action for the support portion of the community colleges. The one I just passed on and moved to the hill is the board portion, and I'll get back to it hopefully later. I will have to get back to it later. But anyway, the support bill is $797,728,227. The general fund portion is $226,287,891. This includes the $2,000 professor pay raise, which is a total of $6,969,734, and then $20 million for EEF and repairs and renovations. Both of those are EEF. So the increase is $26,969,734 for those two items. I'll yield for questions.
See no questions, Senator.
Motion is that we utilize the afternoon roll call for final passage.
Senator suggests to use the afternoon roll call final passage. Any senator object? Anyone wish to be recorded as voting no? Seeing none, please record all present. The use of the afternoon roll call as voting aye, and the conference report has passed. Item 53, Senator.
Before we go to that item, Mr. President, this is where I would like to seek unanimous consent on Senate Bills 3053, the IHL General Support Bill, 3054, the Subsidiary Program, 3055, Alcorn State Ag Programs, 3056, Mississippi State Ag and Forestry Experiment Station, 3057, Cooperative Extension Service, 3058, MSU Forest and Wildlife Research Center, 3059, Veterinary Medicine College of Mississippi State, and 3061, the University of Mississippi Medical Center. And my unanimous consent would be, I'm told 3063. Did I miss one? I did. 3063, Senate Bill 3063, which is the support for community and junior colleges bill that we just handled. I would seek unanimous consent to, let me make sure I've got them all included. Mr. President, I'm going to, after speaking with counsel and our Secretary of the Senate, it would be best for the record if I do these one by one. And so I would start with unanimous consent, Senate Bill 3061, to insert the following language after the word "for" on line 172. Quote, the equivalent of, and then amend line 174 by deleting, quote, after center and replacing it with, at the discretion of the Vice Chancellor for Health Affairs. And Mr. President, I'll explain for all of these IHL bills and community college bills, the purpose is to be consistent with the language that we have utilized before with the institutions of higher learning, the community colleges, that the pay raises they be given the funds for these pay raises, and that they be able to utilize those at their discretion, at the discretion of the institutional executive officers. And I'm happy to answer any questions, Mr. President, if there are any. If none, I would seek unanimous consent to make the change. And I think that change is on the screen for you too.
Sure. Thank you, Senator. Senator asks for unanimous consent. All in favor say aye. Anyone object? Seeing no objection, unanimous consent is approved. Senator?
Okay, now, Mr. President, it's going to essentially be, it will be the same technical language, but Senate Bill 3053, I seek unanimous consent to insert the following language after the word "for" on line 533, quote, the equivalent of, and amend line 535 by deleting, quote, after universities and replacing it with, close quote, at the discretion of the institutional executive officer. Seek unanimous consent to make that change.
Senator seeks unanimous consent. Anyone object? Seeing no objection, unanimous consent is approved. Senator?
Now I'll move to Senate Bill 3054, the IHL subsidiary programs. I seek unanimous consent to insert the following language after the word "for" on line 191. Quote, the equivalent of, amend line 197 by deleting, quote, after sciences and replacing it with, quote, at the discretion of the institutional executive officer, close quote.
Okay.
Seek unanimous consent for that change.
Anyone object? Anyone object to unanimous consent? Seeing none, approved, Senator.
Thank you. Now Senate Bill 3055. Alcorn State agricultural programs. Seek unanimous consent to insert the following language after the word "for" on line 65. The equivalent of, amend line 68 by deleting, quote, after programs and replacing it with, at the discretion of the institutional executive officer.
Okay. Make a motion, Senator.
Yes, I ask for unanimous consent.
Senators ask for unanimous consent. Anyone object? Seeing no objection, unanimous consent is approved.
Now, Mr. President, I would seek unanimous consent to amend Senate Bill 3056. That's the appropriation for Mississippi State University Agricultural and Forestry Experiment Station, by inserting the following language after the word "for" on line 90, quote, the equivalent of, close quote, amend line 93 by deleting the, quote, after university and replacing it with, quote, at the discretion of the institutional executive officer, close quote.
Senator asks for unanimous consent. Anyone object? Seeing no objection, unanimous consent is approved. Senator?
Thank you. Going to Senate Bill 3057. I seek unanimous consent On the appropriation IHL MSU Cooperative Extension Services budget, insert the following language after the word "for" on line 107, quote, "the equivalent of," close quote, amend line 110 by deleting the quote "after university" and replacing it with quote "at the discretion of the institutional executive officer," close quote.
Senator moves, was anyone object? Senator moves for unanimous consent. It's approved. No objection. Senator.
Senate Bill 3058, I seek unanimous consent to amend the Mississippi State University Forest and Wildlife Research Center bill to insert the following language after the words "for" on line 62, quote, "the equivalent of," close quote, amend line 64 by deleting the quote "after university" and replacing it with, close quote, "at the discretion of the institutional executive officer," close quote.
Anyone object? Seeing no objection, unanimous consent is approved. Senator.
Thank you. Move to Senate Bill 3059. I seek unanimous consent to amend that bill, appropriation IHL Mississippi State University Veterinary Medicine College of, by inserting the following language after the word "for" on line 118, quote, "the equivalent of," close quote, amend line 120 by deleting the quote "after university" and replacing it with quote "at the discretion of the institutional executive officer," close quote.
Senator moves for consent. Anyone object? Anyone wish to be? No, I'm sorry. It's approved.
Thank you.
Keep wanting to vote on it. I'm sorry, Senator.
That's okay. There are a lot of these, but it keeps us from having to recommit them and bringing them back up and
yes, sir.
going to do it again. Anyway, Senate Bill 3063, the final one. I seek unanimous consent on the appropriation related to the Community and Junior College Board support for community and junior colleges by inserting the following language after the word "for" on line 295, quote, "the equivalent of," close quote, amend line 297 by deleting the quote "after college" and replacing it with quote "at the discretion of the presidents," close quote.
Anyone object? Seeing no objection, unanimous consent is approved. Senator.
Thank you, Mr. President. Now moving to line 50.
Could you hold on one
Sure.
second? Senator Michelle, for what purpose?
For a question, please.
He yields.
I do yield.
Senator
Thank you.
Michelle.
Waiting for the appropriate time. Thank you, Chairman. Now that we've completed the IHL and the community college budgets, what is the aggregate amount of the increases to the state budget for the instructors? Teacher raises.
The universities was roughly $16 million for the IHL, and the community colleges were just shy of $7 million increase. So about $23 million total between the two.
And our K through 12, which included some other things other than just teachers, was about $104 million. Is that right?
I think it was a little bit over that, but let me check. I think the 102, and then we had those add-ons. It's probably around that area, but let's see. A little 104 plus. Senator, I'll get you that exact number, but I think it's important to know the exact number because we did add, if you heard Senator DeBar, in addition to the $2,000 increase, we added additional money for our special education teachers, $2,000. We added funds for our psychiatrists and occupational therapists in the school. We increased the pay for our student attendance officers, and that added a few $1 million, and we can get you the exact number. But let's just say for round numbers, we're looking at about, for all those increases, maybe in the neighborhood of $138 to $140 million.
Thank you.
Thank
you. Okay, Senator Hobson.
Okay, Mr. President, moving to item, I believe we're on 53.
53.
I would ask that the title be read.
Please read the title.
Senate Bill 3064, Appropriation Employment Security Department of.
Thank you. I move that we adopt the conference report and ask to be recognized to explain.
You're recognized to explain.
Thank you. Final action for MDES Employment Security is $140,124,669. The general fund portion is $1,800,000. We included some federal fund use of vacancy funding. We had $400,000 in the Skills Foundation affiliated with Accelerate, $10 million of special fund support for Accelerate, and $1 million of opioid funds that would go for a pilot program to support a recovery to work initiative in this budget. Let me make sure that's not a consolidated. Then we've got Office of Workforce Development, which is $90,808,015. The general fund portion is $20,538,015, and that is. Bear with me 1 second, Mr. President. That's it. I was looking at a note, I'm sorry, and that was some non-recurring funds from last year that were cut out that were one-time funds for coronavirus and the Skills Foundation. But that covers the Department of Employment Security. I'll yield for questions.
See no questions, Senator.
Our motion is adoption of the conference report by use of the afternoon roll call.
Senator suggests use the afternoon roll call, final passage. Any senator object? Anyone wish to be recorded as voting no? Senator McCon is not voting. Anyone else? Seeing no others, please record all others present by the use of the afternoon roll call as voting aye, and the bill is passed. Okay.
Moving to item 54, have the title read.
Please read title.
Senate Bill 3065, Appropriation Ethics Commission.
My motion is we adopt the conference report, and I ask to be recognized.
You're recognized to explain.
Final action for Ethics Commission was $759,388. It was funded at LBR level funding. I yield for questions.
No questions, Senator.
Motion is adopted. Suggest passage by use of the afternoon roll call.
The Senator suggested use of the afternoon roll call, final passage. Any senator object? Anyone wish to be recorded as voting no? Seeing none, please record all present by the use of the afternoon roll call as voting aye, and the conference report is passed. Senator.
Thank you. Move to the next item.
55.
Have the title read.
Please read title.
Senate Bill 3066, Appropriation Judicial Performance Commission.
Move that we adopt the conference report. Ask to be recognized to explain.
You're recognized to explain.
Thank you. Final action for Judicial Performance Commission is $1,053,887, and general fund portion that's $1,018,805. This includes some funding for critical salaries at $73,079 in general funds, $4,494 in special funds, and vacancy funding too, which is $57,305. The bulk of that, $53,985, is general fund increases. I'll yield for questions.
No questions, Senator.
Seeing none, I suggest passage by use of the afternoon roll call.
Senator suggests use the afternoon roll call, final passage. Anyone object? Anyone wish to be recorded as voting no? Seeing none, please record all present by use of the afternoon roll call as voting aye, and the conference report is passed. Senator, item 56.
Thank you. Ask that the title be read.
Please read title.
Senate Bill 3067, Appropriation Public Safety Department.
I move adoption of the conference report and ask to be recognized to explain.
You're recognized to explain.
Thank you. The final action for Department of Public Safety is $280,787,344. The general fund portion is $167,789,465. This includes salaries for 31 new troopers, and we based that on some attrition that they would have in addition to the new trooper class, and that amount is $1,406,160 in general funds. And then we have $522,655 of general funds for 3 additional positions at the North Mississippi Medical Examiner's Office, $685,000 general funds for the 10 additional Capitol Police officers that we've got in here, and then $2,600,000 for CapEx for the HVAC replacement at the Biloxi Forensics Unit, $278,000 capital expense funds for Melota, that's the Law Enforcement Officers Training Academy out in Rankin County, and that's CapEx for repairs and renovations. $180,000 for MBI to purchase 3D imaging units, known as Faro 3D imaging units, which are used for forensics in criminal cases, and that's 3 units at $60,000 apiece for $180,000 CapEx. And finally, $2 million of special fund authority for utilization of the blackout tag funds, and gives them some authority to use those for law enforcement officers' equipment grants, so assisting our law enforcement around the state. And that's an explanation of the DPS bill.
Okay.
The conference report, rather.
See no questions, Senator.
Suggest passage by use of the afternoon roll call.
Senator suggests the use of afternoon roll call, final passage. Any senator object? Anyone wish to be recorded as voting no? Seeing none, please record all present by use of afternoon roll call as voting aye, and the conference report is passed. Item 57, Senator.
Ask the title be read.
Please read title.
House Senate Bill 3069, Appropriation Workers' Compensation Commission.
Move adoption of the conference report and ask to be recognized to explain.
You're recognized to explain.
Final action, $6,244,424. General fund portion, $6,219,424. This is funded at LBR and is level funding. I'll yield for questions. If none, I suggest passage by use of afternoon roll call.
See no questions. The senator suggests the use of afternoon roll call for final passage. Any senator object? Any senator wish to be recorded as voting no? Present, Senator Harkins. Anyone else? Seeing no others, please record all others present by the use of afternoon roll call as voting aye, and the conference report is passed. Item 58, Senator.
Ask the title be read.
Please read the title.
Senate Bill 3070, Appropriation Development Authority, Mississippi.
I move adoption of the conference report and ask to be recognized to explain.
You're recognized to explain.
Thank you. Final action for MDA is $318,856,756. This does not include the GCRF portion. Included in that is $22,530,799 of general funds. We had $14 million for CapEx used for the site development fund, and most of you know about that have been utilized to improve economic and industrial site developments around the state. We removed some authority that was not needed for the Poppy and Atlas programs. That was special fund authority. And then we added $109 million of federal fund utilization for the community development block grant authority related to disaster recovery. So the total increase over LBR is $4,400,738. I'll yield for questions.
No questions, Senator.
I suggest passage by use of afternoon roll call.
Senator suggests the use of afternoon roll call, final passage. Any senator object? Anyone wish to be recorded as voting no? Seeing none, please record all present by the use of afternoon roll call as voting aye, and the conference report is passed. Item 59, Senator.
Ask the title be read.
Please read the title.
Senate Bill 3071, Appropriation Gulf Coast Restoration Funds to the Mississippi Development Authority.
I move that we recommit for further conference.
Motion is to recommit for further conference. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed no. The ayes have it. The bill is recommitted. Conference report's recommitted. Item 60, Senator.
Ask the title be read.
Please read the title.
Senate Bill 3072, Appropriation Mental Health Department of.
My motion is to recommit for further conference.
Motion is to recommit for further conference. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed no. The ayes have it. It's recommitted. Thank you, Senator.
Ask we go to item 61, have the title read.
Please read the title.
Senate Bill 3075, Appropriation Pharmacy Board of.
I move that we adopt the conference report and ask to be recognized to explain.
You're recognized to explain.
Thank you. Final action in the Board of Pharmacy is $4,398,210. This includes a special fund authority for a per diem of $500. Vacancy funding, all this is special funds too, by the way, I'm sorry. $81,551. The Pharmacy Recovery Program, $118,067. And ITS increases, information technology increases for $28,269. I'll yield for questions.
No questions, Senator.
Move adoption of the conference report by use of the afternoon roll call.
Senator suggests the use of the afternoon roll call, final passage. Any senator object? Anyone wish to be recorded as voting no? Seeing none, please record all present by the use of afternoon roll calls voting aye, and the conference report is passed. Item, 62, Senator.
Thank you. Ask the title be read.
Please read title.
Senate Bill 3088, Appropriation Corrections Department of.
I move adoption of the conference report and ask to be recognized to explain.
You're recognized to explain.
Final action for Department of Corrections, and this is all of their budgets, which is all of their prisons. Thank you, sir. Is $471,072,019. Of that, $434,307,319 is general funds. This does include $2,267,526 for special funds for the anticipated prison management contract per diem rate for our private prisons. It includes a reduction of $700,000 in special funds, decrease for monitoring technology for probation and parole. It includes an increase of $4,501,902 for a special fund increase for the medical contract using the clawback funds, and $1,700,000 a decrease of general funds for the technology and probation and parole. So total over LBR is $4,369,428, but the general fund portion is slightly reduced. I'll yield for questions.
Senator Sparks, for what purpose?
Question, Mr. President.
You yield?
I yield.
Senator Sparks, you recognize.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Couple of questions.
Sure.
I realize there's a reduction in general and increase in special. In Section 3, the farming operations appear to be pretty much flat, $3.985 million that's appropriated out of special funds to do farming operations. Is that?
I think that is correct, but I may yield. I know we discussed the fact that we weren't too keen on it ramping up anything on the farming operations because we're losing money in farming operations right now.
We are, and when I look at Section 5, which is kind of the performance metrics, again, numbers we just stick in there for a guidepost, it appears we're expecting a $500,000 reduction in farming revenue.
Let me yield. I'm going to yield to Senator Delano to respond to the question on the reduction of the farming operations, because I know we had hearty and lengthy discussions, and Senator Delano led the charge. So if you permit me to yield, Mr. President, Senator Delano, would you recognize him?
Senator Delano, you're recognized.
Thank you. So Senator Sparks, we had some discussions in this, and there was also some information that we got from a peer report as well that we were acting upon. It looked like we needed to do a general bill to address the farming production or the farming contracts and the things that we have within MDOC before we can remove the funding for it. So that was the reason why we did not move forward with reduction of those funds this year.
Right, and I understand we didn't reduce their appropriation, but it appears to me we reduced their expectation of $500,000 of income, so they'll lose another $500,000 if they meet our projections. Is that fair?
I don't know if that's a fair statement. I did have some conversations since we signed our performance measures with some of the people that were working on the farm, and they have some new policies in place that they're working on to address the issues that were brought up in the peer report. They're also going to report back to both peer as well as the chairman in both committees or in both chambers on the farming operation to show how that they are either going to find a way for it to be productive or for other opportunities to better utilize those lands.
Because they do lease some of them, and we make money on that lease, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And I will continue with you if that's okay. The special funds and the general funds are, collectively funds. We recognize in this budget that the commissioner has the ability to move up to 25% of funds, not special, not general, at the discretion of the commissioner. I understand there's a process. If he's going to move money, that he has to notify DFA prior to the transfer, and then annually they produce a report for transfers. But since we have special funds and general fund authority we're given, do you know of any other agency that has 25% discretion to move their money around?
No, I don't know any other agency but that has that type of discretion. But with the facilities that that the Department of Correction has, and you should know that each one of those facilities has its own budget with it. What we're looking at here is a consolidated budget, but underlying are every single prison that we have. So there is some needed flexibility to be able to move some of those funds around. But the issue that you're bringing up and that you discussed with me this morning is actually a rather good idea, and I think that what we need to do is to look at where those special funds can be transferred from and where they cannot be transferred from. And some of the programs that that we've discussed in the past that have seemed to be problems that reoccur year over year are especially with the inmate fund. That's definitely something that we need to look at. And as you know, there is language that we put in this bill that requires the commissioner to report to the legislature in a timely manner for the use of those inmate welfare funds.
Yes, and I appreciate you doing that, because with a $470+ million budget, 25% of that's over 115, 20 million. That's a bit more than I would think is necessary if they're projecting expenses correctly. And then finally, you did touch on the inmate welfare fund. That number has risen from $6 million to $9.25 million since 2022, and I'm just concerned with that much flexibility to move money around. And I will obtain those reports, because I understand they have to present an annual report, and everything may be great. It just seems like that's a lot of discretion. The last thing I would ask is, the chairman mentioned a couple of times monitoring technology for probation and parole. We appropriated and then reappropriated $2.4 million, and this was discussed in the subcommittee meeting, because this is technology that we could use to better keep track of people on probation and parole, because our probation and parole officers are overworked, and it looks like they lost 27 pens in this budget, so they're going to be more overworked. Do you know if that monitoring technology has been purchased and is being utilized?
I do not believe that it has been purchased. I don't know what the hang-up has been over the last couple of years. As you know, we have fought to try to find ways to be more efficient by utilization of modern technology to help alleviate some of the workload on our parole officers. I can't answer for that, and I would expect the executive branch to be able to answer that.
Okay, and then last question. You realize in Section 19 that the commissioner has the ability to enter into a housing contract for up to 10 years. I find that a little difficult when somebody is in the last months of their term to bind this body to spend for 10 more years. So I just want to bring that up as a concern, and I don't know who signs off on those contracts, but we've had enough issues in this department over recent history that I think 25% of unfettered movement of money and the ability to bind us for 10 years is a concern. Thank you for taking my questions.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, and you've been always a good ally to work with us on these issues, and thank you for your attention to it. It is definitely something that I think this entire body needs to know, and thank you for your line of questioning. There are no other questions. I'll move for adoption of the conference report by the use of the afternoon roll call.
Okay. The senator suggested use of the afternoon roll call for final passage. I'm sorry. Mr. Taylor, you have a question? For what purpose?
Question, Mr. President.
You yield?
Yes, sir.
You're recognized, Senator.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. Chairman,
you and I have spoke many times on this issue, and I appreciate your work and the committee's work in preparing this budget. But there is a ongoing problem in my district that I know that you're aware of with Department of Corrections and Walnut Grove facility. There was a line item in the budget that would have addressed that issue, and I see now that it has been taken out. Can you give me any insight on that?
Yeah, Senator Lane, you and I have worked on this and talked about it for quite some time. When
First name.
did I say
First name basis.
That's all right. Well, I'm on a first name basis
Senator
with a lot of
Taylor,
people
yeah.
around here.
Well, Senator Taylor, I want to tell you that I appreciate the stuff, or the work that you have done to try to get this corrected for your city. When we discussed this with our attorneys and we looked at the issues that we've received, or the paperwork that's been received from both the city, the gas authority, or the gas utility, as well as the Department of Corrections, there are definitely some issues that have to be worked out there. We did not feel that it would be appropriate for us to put that and leave that as a line item in the budget. There does definitely need to be some work back and forth with the two entities, and if that means that they need to seek legal action for that, then that's probably the best course. Otherwise, I fully expect the Commissioner and the Department of Corrections to resolve those issues with your city.
Okay. I appreciate that, and you know, that would mean the world to my district. It is to some, it's a
significant amount.
It's money that they may not feel like is a lot, but to a town like Walnut Grove, it is a lot. I appreciate you looking into that for me.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay, seeing no further questions, the senator suggests the use of afternoon roll call for final passage. Any senator object? Anyone wish to be recorded as voting no? Seeing none, please record all present. The use of afternoon roll call as voting aye, and the conference report is passed. Item 63, Senator.
Ask the title be read.
Please read title.
Senate Bill 3089, Appropriation Emergency Management Agency.
I move that we recommit for further conference.
Motion is that we recommit for further conference. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed no. Ayes have it. Conference report's recommitted.
That's good. Item 64, and have the title read.
Please read title.
Senate Bill 3090, Appropriation Revenue Department of.
Our motion is that we adopt the conference report and ask to be recognized to explain.
You're recognized to explain.
Thank you, Mr. President. We've got a few budget sheets on this one. First of all, in the Department of Revenue, $83,534,386. Of that, general fund portion is $58,282,212. This includes vacancy funding, general funds of $1,476,116, and IT and warehouse equipment, capital expense funds for $210,000. Also, we have the homestead exemption reimbursement, $94 million that should be fully funded for our counties, and the license tag commission, $6,850,000. Homestead portion, it comes out of general funds. The license tag commission is all special funds, and that's $6,850,000. I'll yield for questions.
No questions, Senator.
Seeing none, I suggest passage by use of the afternoon roll call.
The senator suggested use the afternoon roll call final passage. Any senator object? Any senator wish to be recorded as voting no? Seeing none, please record all present. Use the afternoon roll call as voting aye, and the conference report is passed. Senator.
Move to item 65 and have the title read.
Please read title.
Senate Bill 3091, Appropriation Agriculture and Commerce Department of.
Move adoption of the conference report. Ask to be recognized and explained.
You recognized to explain.
Thank you. Also, one with multiple budgets on it is Department of Agriculture and Commerce. Final action, $29,212,432. General fund portion, $9,760,618. This includes $375,000 of capital expense funds that we use for elevator repairs and replacement at the Equine Center, $270,000 CapEx for the fire suppression, floor replacement repairs and renovation at the Agricultural Museum, and $398,868 of vacancy funding and restoration of some head counts. That's split between general funds, $250,389, and the remainder is federal and special funds. So a total over LBR, $1,043,868. I'll yield for questions.
No questions, Senator.
Seeing none. By the way, I'm sorry, Mr. President, I left off the Ag and Commerce Beaver Control Program. We have $1,100,000 of all special funds. I'll yield for questions. If none, move passage by use in the morning roll call, afternoon roll call.
Seeing no questions, Senator suggests the use of afternoon roll call for final passage. Any senator object? Anyone wish to be recorded as voting no? Seeing none, please record all present by use of afternoon roll call as voting aye, and the conference report has passed. Item 66, Senator.
Ask that the title be read.
Please read title.
Senate Bill 3093, Appropriation Animal Health Board.
I move adoption of the conference report. Ask to be recognized to explain.
You're recognized to explain.
Thank you. Final action for the Board of Animal Health is $3,233,049. General fund portion $1,968,554. This includes $50,182 for vacancy funding. Also, some federal funds were utilized, $12,546 for some vacancy funding, and $25,000 of special fund authority, which was for hazard duty pay related to the avian influenza outbreaks. So total $87,728 over LBR. I'll yield for questions.
No questions, Senator.
Seeing none, I suggest use of the afternoon roll call for final passage.
Senator suggests the use of afternoon roll call for final passage. Any senator object? Any senator wish to be recorded as voting no? Seeing none, please record all present by use of afternoon roll call as voting aye, and the conference report is passed. Senator.
As we go to item 67, have the title read.
Please read title.
Senate Bill 3095, Appropriation Information Technology Services Department.
I move adoption of the conference report. Ask to be recognized to explain.
Recognized to explain.
Thank you. First, we have the Department of Information Technology Services budget, $58,758,379. Also, general funds of $30,870,501. We've got a lot of stuff going on in the IT arena, as Senator Williams knows, and we had some plus-ups for them. This included a vacancy funding of $479,089, general funds, private cloud licenses for $1,600,000, $750,000 general funds for the cloud border. We have $4.2 million of CapEx for cloud migrations pursuant to House Bill 1491 that passed. And look, Senator Williams is expert on this. We're trying to get all this ITS stuff under wraps, and some of y'all remember our hearing we had this session. We've got $1 million for CapEx for 4 UPS units, $1 million of CapEx for the voice over internet projects that we have. This may take some additional funds next year to complete this, but it's $1 million of CapEx converting all the lines here in the Capitol Complex area to voice over internet protocol, and then $200,000 for special fund authority for cloud migration expenses from other agencies. So a total of $9,229,089 over LBR. Also, we have the Wireless Communication Commission, $12,501,851. All but $500,000 of that is general funds. And then in their part of the budget, we have general fund vacancy and restored one head count from LBR. That's $57,281 general funds. $80,000 of general fund for increases to the land leases and equipment repair that they have, and probably going to have some more stuff in the future on that. But $500,000 of CapEx for replacements of aging equipment, environmental equipment replacements, and tower site repair. Total of $637,281 on that budget. I'll yield for questions.
No questions.
Seeing none, hearing none, I suggest passage by use of afternoon roll call.
The senator suggests the use of afternoon roll call final passage. Any senator object? Any senator wish to be recorded as voting no? Seeing none, please record all present by use of afternoon roll call as voting aye, and the conference report is passed. Item 68, Senator Hobson.
Thank you. Ask the title be read.
Please read title.
Senate Bill 3096, Appropriation Military Department.
Move adoption of the conference report and ask to be recognized to explain.
You're recognized to explain.
Thank you. Final action on military department is $262,873,603. General fund portion $13,969,082. That includes, general funds of $4.4 million for the TRICARE insurance reimbursement program, $650,000 for the land purchase at Camp Shelby, trying to acquire some land right next to the Camp Shelby site right now. That's capital expense funds, and using $500,000 of EEF funds for the scholarship program the military department offers for members of the National Guard. So a total of $5,550,000 over LBR. I'll yield for questions.
See no questions, Senator.
I suggest passage by use of the afternoon roll call.
Senator suggests use the afternoon roll call, final passage. Any senator object? Any senator wish to? Senator DeBar? No. Okay.
President.
Okay.
To the vote, Mr. President.
Well, before we vote, after we vote? Okay. Any senator wish to be recorded voting no? Seeing none, please report all present. They use afternoon. Oh, except Senator DeBar. I'm sorry.
Yeah, recorded not voting. Thank you.
Senator DeBar is not voting. Please record all others as voting aye, and the conference report is passed. Okay, now 69.
Thank you. That's the title to be read.
Please read title.
Senate Bill 3098, Appropriations, Secretary of State.
I move adoption of the conference report and ask to be recognized to explain.
You recognized to explain.
Thank you, Mr. President. Final action on the Secretary of State's office is $40,630,621. General fund portion $15,571,621. This includes $21,781 for vacancy funding, general funds, $425,000 for operations and maintenance of the election systems. That too is general funds. $4,609,000 of $560 for Tideland Authority under FY25. So 2 years ago, Tideland Authority, $5,309,000 authority to transfer Tideland's funds, special funds. $2,784,607 for authority, special fund authority for election support fund disbursement, and $90,000 of special funds to restore needed special fund authority inadvertently cut by the agency in its request. So they had requested $90,000 less, but that was restored, and that is an explanation of the conference report. I'll yield for questions.
No questions, Senator.
I move passage by use of the afternoon roll call.
Senator suggests use the afternoon roll call, final passage. Any senator object? Any senator wish to be recorded as voting no? Seeing none, please record all present. The use of afternoon roll call as voting aye, and the conference report is passed. Item 70, Senator.
Thank you. That's the title be read.
Please read title.
Senate Bill 3099, Appropriation, Treasurer's Office.
I move adoption of the conference report and ask to be recognized to explain.
You recognized to explain.
Thank you. In the Treasurer's budget, we've got, Treasurer's Office, we've got several budgets. $7,521,889 for the office, and that's all special funds. That includes vacancy funding of $123,863, new headcount for a program specialist on this safe deposit box bill that I believe is passed. If not, it would be pending that, but there's the one that creates that S-cheat program to the state on safe deposit boxes after a period of time, and that would be $60,817. Contractual increases for Impact and Max, those are the two college savings programs, that's $263,695. And if the Save and Work Act passed, they'll need special fund authority of $239,000 in both one new headcount and some contractual money. This budget, or this also includes the budgeting for investment of funds, $150,000 special fund authority, and the Impact Trust Fund tuition payments, special funds, $35 million. And that explains the Treasurer's bill. I'll yield for questions.
No questions, Senator.
Move adoption of the conference report by use of the afternoon roll call.
Senator suggests you use the afternoon roll call, final passage. Any senator object? Any senator wish to be recorded as voting no? Seeing none, please record all present. The use of the afternoon roll call as voting aye, and the conference report is passed. Senator Hobson, item 71.
Ask the title be read.
Please read title.
Senate Bill 3101, Appropriation, Veterans Affairs Board.
Move adoption of the conference report. Ask to be recognized to explain.
Recognized to explain.
Thank you. Final action for Veterans Affairs Board is $12,466,852. The general fund portion, $5,711,024. This does include capital expense funds of $3.5 million for roof replacement, HVAC upgrades, and a domestic boiler at the Kosciuszko, and well, the HVAC upgrades and domestic boiler are both Kosciuszko and Collins facilities. Also included in this are state veteran home system budgeting, which is $54,368,993, and the general fund portion of that is $6,357,359, and that's LBR level of funding for that budget. I'll yield for questions.
No questions.
I suggest passage by use of the afternoon roll call.
Senator suggests the use of afternoon roll call, final passage. Any senator object? Any senator wish to be recorded voting no? Seeing none, please record all present by use of afternoon roll calls, voting aye, and the conference report is passed. Item 72, Senator.
I ask that the title be read.
Please read title.
Bill 3104, appropriation, additional appropriation for various state agencies for fiscal year 2026 and fiscal year 2027.
I move that we recommit for further conference.
Motion is to recommit for further conference. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. The ayes have it. Recommitted.
Item 73, I ask that the title be read.
Please read title.
Senate Bill 3105, appropriation additional to certain state agencies, boards for fiscal year 2026 and fiscal year 2027.
Our motion is to recommit for further conference.
Motion is to recommit for further conference. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. The ayes have it. The conference report has been recommitted.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Senator Hobson. Okay, we'll go to item 74, Finance. Senator Harkins.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to go to item 74, House Bill 343, and have the title read.
Please read title.
House Bill 343, income tax, authorized credit for certain employees, providing additional coverage, health reimbursement arrangement, ICHRA to employees.
Motion is we adopt the conference report and recognize Senator Boyd to explain.
You recognize Senator Boyd?
This is the ICRA bill. This is the language that you have seen twice before. And what the ICRA does, just to remind you, it stands for an individual coverage of health reimbursement arrangements. And what it does, it provides employees a defined tax-free contribution and lets employers purchase their own health insurance plan. And it shifts the model from an employer chooses a plan to the employee chooses a plan. If you remember, the purpose of doing this is to try to get those employers that have not provided any type of health insurance to move into the market where they have some defined cost of what they know this contribution would be. To be a qualified employer, you have to have fewer than 50 employees. It also would allow them, the employer to obtain a tax credit in the first year of $400. Then in the second year, it would require them to allows them to have a credit of up to $200. They would have to make a report to the Department of Revenue every 3 years in which the employers are claiming this credit. It would just be a 2-year option for the employers. And we have, and that's basically a summation of the legislation. It's again the language that you've seen before, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Seeing no questions, Senator?
Move adoption by use of the roll call.
Use of the afternoon roll call has been requested. Anyone object to the procedure? Or is voting no? Present? No. Chisholm? No. Harkness? Anyone else? Anyone else? Present? Bill passes by use of the morning roll call. Chisholm, Harkness voting no. 75, Senator.
Okay, I'm sorry. I thought did you say me voting no?
It's number 75 on the.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Harkness and Chisholm voted no on the bill, and the bill passed by use of the afternoon roll call.
Thank you. I'd like to skip item 75 through 70 through 80 and have them retain their place on the calendar and go to item 81, House Bill 1793, and have the title read.
Mr. Clerk, please read the title.
House Bill 1793, sales tax exempt retail sales of firearms safe during annual Mississippi Second Amendment weekend holiday.
My motion is we adopt the conference report and recognize Senator Johnson to explain.
Senator Johnson, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President. This bill is one that we had up recently that simply exempts firearm safes from sales tax on the Second Amendment holiday weekend, and that's an explanation of the conference report.
Senator. We have Senator McMahon. For what purpose, sir?
Question.
You for a question, Senator?
Yes.
Senator McMahon is recognized.
Mr. Chairman, in committee, we added diapers to the tax-free weekend. Is that still in the conference report?
It is not. The House agreed to going back to just the original language.
I'm surprised by that because the vote in the committee was 100%. There was no, so is there an opportunity to add that back to this conference report?
I do not believe that would be agreed upon to move forward.
So it wasn't a House position to support that?
The House's position was to support the original language.
Okay, thank you.
Senator Blunt, for what purpose, sir? Pass and retain. Senator Dupree, for what purpose, sir?
Question, Mr. President.
You for a question, Senator?
Yes.
Senator Dupree is recognized.
I'm under the same impression that diapers were added in the bill.
They were when we ran it through the Senate, but the House did not agree to that, and this was the conference report that came out of that.
And is there any consideration about recommitting it back to the council?
I don't believe, I think all that would do is would kill the bill.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Senator. Any other questions? Any other questions?
Move adoption using the afternoon roll call.
Use of the afternoon roll call has been requested. Does anyone object to that procedure? This will be recorded as voting no. Blunt, no. McMahon, no. Isom, no. Mumford, no. Hickman, no. Norwood, no. Blackman, no. Frazier, no. Turner Ford, no. Simmons, no. Brumfield, no. Butler, no. Hope, no. Jackson, no. Thomas, no. Anyone else? Dupree, no. Anyone else? Present, voting present. One moment, please. Senator England, for what purpose, sir?
To the vote, Mr. President.
Please proceed.
I'd like to announce a pair. If Senator Derek Simmons were here, he would vote no, and I vote aye.
England, aye. Simmons, no. D. Pair. Sixteen noes, the bill passes. Senator Harkins.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to go to item 82, House Bill 1941, and have the title read.
Clerk, please read the title.
House Bill 1941, Mississippi Outdoor Stewardship Trust Fund, authorize issuance of bonds to provide funds for and revise certain provisions relating to.
Thank you, Mr. President. My motion is we recommit for further conference.
All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Thank you, Senator Harkins. Senator, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to go to item 83, House Bill 1944, and have the title read.
Mr. Clerk, please read the title.
House Bill 1944, taxation revised credits authorized for contributions in certain eligible charitable organizations.
My motion is we adopt the conference report and recognize Senator Sparks to explain.
Senator Sparks, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. House Bill 1944 is also known as the Children's Promise Act. This is the bill that we added a third bucket for special purpose schools as defined by the Department of Education. What we passed earlier, these are the changes from what we passed earlier.
we made sure that these special purpose schools are not for profit. So that was a change. We made sure that that was recognized. Those are the schools, again, I've read a list to you, things like Little Lighthouse and the Magnolia Speech School that 100% in most of those cases are students that have challenges in the educational environment. They would set up a third bucket that would be $6 million. We had moved it to $8 million after 2 years. We took that out, so $6 million will be the total. Each individual school of that third bucket, the B3 schools, could not exceed $500,000 per location, or the aggregate of $1.25 million on all locations. Additionally, there's no more money, no additional money in the 1B1 or 1B2 bucket. That's probably the question you get the most. The only change to the 1B2 bucket is that we moved the percentage that they could get of the money from 4.5%, we lowered it to 4%. So that is the changes in the conference report versus what this body had already passed. Mr. President, I'd yield any questions.
Senator England, for what purpose, sir?
Question, Mr. President.
Yield for a question, sir.
I yield.
Senator England is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Senator Sparks. The question that I have, a lot of times these conference reports come out as kind of quick. I think I already know the answer, but the earlier House bill had a date in it for an October cutoff. That's removed from this bill, is
Yes.
that correct?
Yeah,
Okay.
that is removed. That you had asked that question, and that has been removed. That was not part of what the Senate had passed, and so it's not in this bill. That's correct.
Okay, so these nonprofits, they still will be able to raise money beyond October into December for their purposes?
Yeah, that language was stricken.
Okay, thank you. Now, you mentioned the Lighthouse Academy. Those schools, you said they have to be nonprofit. Have we looked into that to make sure that these schools we're trying to assist, are they going to still be okay with this bill?
Yeah, well, we're not giving tax credit to for-profit schools. I don't think anybody would want to do that.
Right.
But this list is compiled by MDE to be in that 1B3 bucket, which again, most of them are 100% serving people with educational challenges. But we wanted to make sure that language was in there as not-for-profit, because I think that's the position of the Senate.
Absolutely. I think that's a good move, and I appreciate your work very much on this bill. And I know that there's been a lot of emails and information on this bill, but I think that we've got a good version here to go forward, and I appreciate that.
Thank you, Senator.
Thank you.
Senator Delano, for what purpose, sir?
Question.
You yield for a question, Senator Sparks?
I yield.
Senator Delano is recognized for a question on this bill.
Thank you. In regards to the designation of a specialty school, was there any changes made to the requirements of these specialty schools for things such as a dietitian and some of those other requirements that are also always required of a public school? Well, I know there were some requests for changes to those particular provisions.
I don't know of any changes we've requested with MDE. This is an Mississippi Department of Education designation. They're the one who creates this. Nothing in this legislation changes MDE's autonomy in determining these schools that qualify for the 1B3 bucket.
Okay, I'll continue my questions later. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Senator Dupree, for what purpose?
Question, Mr. President.
You yield for a question, sir?
I yield.
Senator Dupree is recognized.
Thank you. I think we asked the same questions over and over again. I'm going to ask again. These are still the $6 million tax credit. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. And so are any of these specialty schools designated as the least restrictive environment for kids who will be accepted to these schools, or any kid can just go to these schools, or do they have to be diagnosed? Does the public school have to designate that school, specialty school, as a least restrictive environment for that kid?
The MDE designates the special purpose nature of the school. I don't know the answer as it relates to least restrictive environment. What I will say about the environment, and particularly using the Magnolia Speech School, for instance, the children that are there have severe challenges that relate to that type of issue, and that's the students they have. And, you know, I think maybe even Senator Michelle mentioned one of the schools serves 13 counties. So I think that they're very open to serving students not from a particular public school or geographic location, but a Mississippi child who has special challenges in their education have the availability to come to these schools, and so many of them raise money above and beyond and offer this as an opportunity for the best available education for that student. So I can't answer the specific least restrictive environment, but I would say it's the most profitable environment for that student to attend that specialty school.
So most of the special schools already receive state funding. Is that correct?
I would not say that most all of them do. I think some of them started as, again, a not-for-profit, seeing a specific need in dyslexia, seeing a specific need in autism, a specific need in speech or hearing difficulties. Those are where the designation comes from MDE, is that they are serving these special populations in a more concentrated effort and having the quality of personnel at those locations that are specialists in the field that allow these children the greatest opportunity to be successful.
So most of these kids, I would assume 100% would have to have an IEP.
I would say that's probably correct. Again, I don't ever like to say for sure something, but yes, I would say
and then
high likelihood.
Then the IEP would determine whether that's the least restrictive environment or not.
And again, that's how IEPs work. But again, no one's forced to go to these schools, if that's what you're asking.
No, I'll give you an example.
No.
In order for a kid to get an IEP, and they want to go to University of Southern Mississippi school, they have a school there, DeBar.
Yes.
They do an IEP. The school has to release the child based on the IEP as USM being the least restrictive environment for that child. So there has to be a process, including IEP, including the public school having to release the child, and then the board having to accept the child. Is that the process still?
Nothing we would do in this bill would change the process, because a lot of that's governed by federal law. What I would say is that many parents have struggled in the public school environment when they have an IEP of actually getting the services that the IEP demands. And it's usually a cost restrictive or a maybe lack of able to hire someone. So that's why these special purpose schools serve such a wonderful purpose, is because they have that expertise and they have the staffing. And so I think the student, again, is in the most prosperous environment for their own personal education and growth. But yeah, they would certainly have to meet all the federal guidelines and all of the rules that relate to IEPs, because again, this all starts with a designation from MDE.
Right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Senator.
Thank you, Senator Freed. Thank you, Senator Johnson. Any other questions? Any other questions? Seeing none, Senator?
Move for adoption of the conference report on the afternoon roll call.
Afternoon roll call. Does anyone object to that procedure? Does anyone want to be recorded as voting no? Madam Secretary. Blunt, no. Isom, no. Jackson, no. Pope, no. Bryan, no. Butler, no. Brumfield, no. Hickman, no. Mumford, no. Dupree, no. Fraser, no. Norwood, no. Lackman, no. Turner Ford, no. Simmons, yes, no. Thomas, no. McMahon, no. Barrett, no. McClendon, no. Anyone else? Present? Voting present. Seeing none, one moment. 19 noes, the bill passes. Senator Harkins.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to go to item 84 on today's calendar, House Bill 1989, and have the title read.
Mr. Clerk, please read the title.
House Bill 1989, sales tax exempt sales of utilities to certain nonprofit organizations.
Motion is to adopt the conference report. Recognize Senator Johnson to explain.
Senator Johnson, you recognize.
Thank you, Mr. President. This conference report is for the bill that was exempting sales tax on some utilities at certain events. I know members in this chamber were worried about the broad language that was in there. We have worked with the House on tightening that language up and feel confident that the language will serve the purpose of the bill, and that's an explanation of the conference report.
Questions on the bill? Seeing none, Senator.
Move adoption using the afternoon roll call.
Afternoon roll call has been requested. Anyone object? Speaker records voting no. Present? Seeing none, the bill passes. Senator Harkins.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to go to item 85 on today's calendar, House Bill 4060, and have the title read.
Mr. Clerk, please read the title.
House Bill 4060, sales tax exempt sales of lime for agricultural purposes to reduce rate of retail sales of fencing materials for containment of livestock.
Motion is to adopt the conference report and recognize Senator Johnson to explain.
Senator Johnson, you recognize.
Thank you, Mr. President. This conference report represents the bill that was sent to us from the House that would exempt lime for agricultural purposes and fencing and related products from sales tax, and that is an explanation of the conference report.
Senator Turnford, for what purpose?
Question.
Do you yield for a question, Senator?
Yes.
Senator Turnford, you recognize.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Senator, for yielding. This is my line of questioning is similar to that of Senator McMahon's.
Yes.
This diaper exemption of retail sales on children's diapers was added by way of amendment on the floor. Is that correct?
That is correct, yes, ma'am.
And based on my review of the conference report, the position of the conferees is that you all receded from Senate Amendment number 1.
That's correct, yes, ma'am.
Was any reason given in terms of why that was deleted from the conference report?
Removing it was the only way to move this language forward.
Did you all intend to press with the conferees and ask that the language remain in the report?
We did have that conversation, yes.
Thank you, Senator.
Thank you, Senator. Any other questions? All right, Senator Johnson.
Move adoption using the afternoon roll call.
Anyone object to that procedure? Or is voting no? Madam Clerk, Turner Ford, no. Simmons, no. Fraser, no. Thomas, no. Blackman, no. Isom, no. Mumford, no. Hickman, no. Norwood, no. Pope, no. Jackson, no. Butler, no. Brumfield, no. Nope. Dupree, no. One moment, please. No, the bill's passed. Senator Harkins.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to go to item 86, House Bill 4067. Have the title read.
Mr. Clerk, please read the title.
House Bill 4067, bonds, authorized issuance for various purposes.
Thank you, Mr. President. The motion is we recommit for further conferencing.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Thank you.
I'd like to go to item 87, House Bill 4073, and have the title read.
Mr. Clerk.
House Bill 4073, Mississippi Work and Save Program, create, authorize issuance of bonds and revise certain income and sales tax sections.
The motion is we adopt the conference report and recognize Senator Sparks to explain.
Senator Sparks, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mississippi Work and Save Program bill addresses the Work and Save
provision that Senator Michelle explained earlier. It's the language we passed. There's no changes to that. That is simply allowing some opportunities for people that maybe don't have a retirement program to have one that's voluntary, and that is the exact same language he explained and passed. Additionally, this bill contains PERS language that the Senate has passed on 2 different occasions. The first thing that the bill does is that it lowers the years of service in Tier 5 from 35 to 30 for an unreduced retirement. The only change is that this also lowers the number of years for your highest compensation from the highest 8 consecutive to high 4. So both of those are employee friendly. They are in response to some of the discussions that we've had for the last several months. So we take all Tier 5 employees, and this is retroactive to March 1st, from 35 years for unreduced retirement down to 30, and their compensation is measured on their high 4, not the high 8 consecutive. The second thing this bill does is allow our state employees to participate in a Roth or other after-tax contribution. This is a voluntary thing. There was just something in our state law that didn't allow it. So again, this is employee-friendly to let them have the opportunity with the deferred comp style program or a Roth catch-up contribution, particularly for those who've reached the age that they can do those things. The next thing that the bill does is, again, a provision we've passed twice, deals with the net pension liability. This is a PERS requested bill. We've passed it for the last couple of years, and that is in the PERS language. The final piece of this bill is the return to work, as the Senate has passed twice, which allows you to return to work after you have retired with an unreduced retirement number of years. You can return to work at 80% of the salary of the stated position, excepting the professions of elected officials, K-12 superintendents, and administrators at universities and colleges. This is something that I believe will help across the state where we have vacancies. The first responder community has been very receptive to this opportunity to hire back people who have institutional knowledge and experience, and I think it will be good for our younger employees. This is across to the classroom, to the first responder community, and to state agencies. And I will say this to you as well on return to work. One of the things that I hope that this does is that when people return to work, we fill empty pens, which we will get a PERS contribution, because the employer has to pay both sides, because the employee gets to keep their retirement just like they retire. They don't pay any more contribution because they're getting no more benefit. The employer pays both sides. So we get experience back, we get institutional knowledge back, and I do believe this is an opportunity to cut down on the contract labor that the employers often enter into, which circumvents the PERS program. So I believe it will be a stream of revenue to PERS that will be beneficial. That is what this bill does. Again, it is the 4 provisions we have passed twice in this chamber, with the only change of going from high 8 to high 4, and then Senator Michelle's work and save. With that, I would yield to any questions, Mr. Chairman.
Senator Lano, for what purpose?
Question.
Will you yield, Senator?
I yield. So let's go to the return to work question one more time. If someone has retired, had a break of service, and has returned back to work now under, is it at 50%?
Yeah, we did not take it. There's 2 things. One is, if you would, I failed to mention, although it's been in our bill both times, it shortens the set-out period from 90 days to 30 days. So I did not say that, but that's been in our bill both times. But as far as the person returning to work, they could draw 80% of the salary of the job they come back to, or up to. So if somebody wants to be hired on a part-time basis, they can certainly do that, and the employer can offer health insurance or whatever fringe that they offer.
So to rephrase my question a little bit easier, if someone has returned to work after a previous break of employment. Will this automatically allow them to go up to that 80% threshold, or is there anything that has to be done for those that are in that program now?
That's a good question. It is an agreement between an employer and an employee in the return to work capacity. If a return to work individual says, I want to work full time, the max they can be paid is 80% of salary. If they want to negotiate for lesser time, lesser percentage, that has to be reduced to writing. So it won't be confusing to the employee or the employer. That will be reduced to writing.
Thank you, Senator Delano. Other questions? Seeing none.
If there are no further questions, move for adoption of the conference report on the afternoon roll call.
You say afternoon roll call is requested. Anyone object? Court is voting no. Brian, no. Anyone else? Anyone else? Present? Seeing none, thank you, Senator Sparks. I know you spent an awful lot of time on that. We appreciate your work for the Senate and for the employees of the state of Mississippi. Senator Harkins.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to skip item 88 through 92 and have them retain their place on the calendar and go to item number 93, Senate Bill 2867.
Mr. Clerk, please read the title.
Senate Bill 2867, income tax credit revised to employees providing dependent child care or child care stipends.
Motions to adopt the conference report and recognize Senator Sparks to explain.
Senator Sparks, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This revises our income tax credit for employers providing dependent child care or child care stipends. This lowered the threshold from $6,000 to $2,000. This is the Senate has passed this prior. Senator Boyd has worked hard on this bill. We're hoping to have more involvement with there being a $2,000 floor that an employer could spend per child for direct payments to licensed or registered entity providing dependent child care. The credit is capped at $3,000 per year for each child or participant employee, and the total tax credit cap is $1 million. That is an explanation of the bill. I would yield to any questions.
Seeing none.
If there are no questions, I would move for passage on the afternoon roll call.
Afternoon roll call has been requested. Anyone object? Court is voting no. Present. Seeing none, the bill passes by afternoon roll call. Senator Harkins.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to go to item 94 on today's calendar, Senate Bill 3109, have the title read.
Mr. Clerk, please read the title.
To exempt leases and subleases of state park lands to nonprofits.
Motion, we adopt the conference report and recognize Senator Blunt to explain.
Senator Blunt, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is the bill that we passed earlier this session regarding a nonprofit that has entered into a lease agreement to manage a state park. There's concern that they would be subject to paying property taxes on the leasehold interest. What the bill would do is make it clear that the property, which is still owned by the state, would be managed by a nonprofit, and they would not be subject to paying the property taxes, for which, of course, property taxes are not being paid right now. The conference report is the Senate bill. The House, as you see, recedes from their amendment, which was a reverse repealer, so the conference report is the bill that we passed earlier. I'm happy to yield for any questions.
Seeing none, Senator.
My motion is passage by use of the afternoon.
Use of the afternoon roll call has been requested. Anyone object? Court is voting no. Present. Bill passes by afternoon roll call. Senator Harkins.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to go to item 95, Senate Bill 3110, and have the title read.
Mr. Clerk, please read the title.
Senate Bill 3110, tax credits provided against income or ad valorem taxes for voluntary cash contributions to rural hospitals.
My motion is we recommit for further conferencing.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. 96.
I'd like to go to item 96, Senate Bill 3111, have the title read.
Mr. Clerk, please read the title.
Point 11, alcohol taxes, markups, and other charges exempt up to 10 cases of wine donated annually by a permittee to nonprofits.
Motion is we adopt the conference report. Recognize Senator Johnson to explain.
Senator Johnson, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President. The House, this is the bill that dealt with allowing wine brokers to donate up to 10 cases of wine to a charitable organization and exempting that from taxes. The House had put in a reverse repealer. They receded from that, and this is the bill that we passed out already. And that's an explanation of what this conference report
Questions
is.
on the bill?
Move adoption using the afternoon roll call.
Use of the afternoon roll call has been requested. Anyone object? Court is voting no. Frazier, no. Turner Ford, no. Norwood, no. Chisholm, no. Present, Bumfield. Anyone else? Present, Dupree. Senator Whaley? Whaley, no. Bill passes by use of the afternoon roll call. Noes noted. 97.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to go to item 97, Senate Bill 3124, and have the title read.
Clerk, please read the title.
Senate Bill 3124, Pregnancy Resource Act, revise certain provisions.
Motion to recommit for further conferencing.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Thank you.
I'd like to go to item 98, Senate Bill 3191, have the title read.
Mr. Clerk, please read the title.
Senate Bill 3191, Sales Tax Exclude Processing where interchange fees charged for electronic payment transactions from gross proceeds of sales.
Motion is we adopt the conference report. Recognize Senator Johnson to explain.
Senator Johnson, you recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President. This bill we originally passed out of the Senate with the intent to exempt the 3% or roughly 3% interchange fee that a retailer would charge a customer to offset the cost they are charged. We would exempt that from sales tax. We had some issues finding how much that would actually cost the state, so what we did instead was made a few technical corrections to that language to have conformity of shall and does in a couple of spots, and then we added the language that would account for the penny going away, which would round to the nearest nickel, like a bill that we had already passed in the Senate, but the House failed to bring out of committee. And that's an explanation of what this conference report does.
Questions on the bill?
Move adoption using the afternoon roll call.
Use of the afternoon roll call has been requested. Anyone object? The Speaker is voting no. Present. Bill passed by afternoon roll call. Senator Harkins, we're on 100, sir.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to go to item 99 on today's calendar, Senate Bill 3228, and have the title read.
Mr. Clerk, please read the title.
Senate Bill 3228, Income Tax Credits, increase aggregate amount for certain employees sponsoring employee skills training and extend repealer.
My motion is we adopt the conference report and be recognized to explain.
You're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President. Ladies and gentlemen, the conference report is basically the Senate version that passed out. The House receded from their amendment. This is for skills training, companies that sponsor skills training. Right now, the amount is $1 million. We've raised it to $2,500,000, and no company can receive over, I believe, $1 million in the aggregate. So this just is hoping that more companies will get into sponsoring more of the skills training, and that is the explanation of the conference report. Be happy to answer any questions.
Senator Dupree, for what purpose?
Question, Mr. President.
You yield, Senator?
I do.
Just one question. Who's going to be the agency that's going to birth out this to make sure that this training that they're getting is training that is appropriate for whatever it is they're doing, and that they're actually doing the training?
Well, Senator, I think that some of it is done with in concert with the community colleges. They would obviously apply to the Department of Revenue. They have to meet some of the requirements, but this is an existing program that's going on already, and it's just raising the amount from $1 million to 2.5. And the employers will have to be they have to be certified as eligible for the tax credit by the local community and junior college that serves the employer. Thank you. No further questions. I move adoption on the afternoon roll call.
See no further questions. Afternoon roll call. Anyone object? Court is voting no. Present. Seeing none, the bill passes.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to go to item 100 on today's calendar and have the title read.
Mr. Clerk, please read the title.
Senate Bill 3229, bond authorized revenue bonds to be issued to pay for damage to electric utilities caused by 2026 winter storm.
A motion is we adopt the conference report and be recognized to explain.
You're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the bill that's been going back and forth, working on it. We passed a version of this earlier in the session with the intent that we had to get some more information and tighten up a few of the clauses within the bill. The version before you is basically, it's the same version we passed out of here, but it does have a few changes. In Section 3, it includes a cap of $275 million, exclusive of the issuance cost. So that's the maximum they'll be able to borrow on this. In Section 8, it has more detailed creditor rights to meet capital market expectations to improve rating treatment of the bonds. It also removes any ambiguity on UCC treatment. This is the bond issuers will be purchasing the fee, essentially. So the charge that goes on the bill will be a property of the bond owners, and that's what that section helps to clear up. There's also language in Section 9 that it replaces the special fund construct with a purchase of property model, which I just described, which is typical in more recent securitization constructs. So Louisiana, Oklahoma are examples of where this has also been done. Section 10, it removes the backstop of the general fund. So therefore, we're getting it off of the state and making this wholly independent, where the state is not on the hook for these bonds. Section 16 also makes it the State Bond Commission will issue only as a special revenue bond, expressly not state indebtedness. It removes state full faith and credit pledge. And Section 28 just removes some of the language on the UCC because it was addressed in a prior section. So that is an explanation of the conference report. I'll be happy to answer any questions. If not, I move final adoption on the afternoon roll call.
Questions on the bill? Seeing none, use of the afternoon roll call has been requested. Anyone object? You should be recorded voting no. Present? Seeing none, the bill passes. Thank you, Senator Harkins. In conference, Appropriations General, Senator Hobson. Pass and retain. One moment, please. That moves us over to general bills. Senator Sparks. Pass and retain. Senator Younger. Senator Younger. Senator Chasnow. Senator Delano. Senator Boyd. Senator Barrett. Senate, we're on 144.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to go to item 144, House Bill number 716, and have the title read, please.
Mr. Clerk, please read the title.
House Bill 1716, Mississippi Main Street Revitalization Grant Program Act, revised certain provisions.
Make the usual motion.
You don't need that.
All right, thank you. Mr. President, I'd ask that Senator Williams be recognized to explain the bill.
Senator Williams, you're recognized to explain the bill.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. House Bill 1716 is the same bill we passed out here a couple of weeks ago, with the exception of the reverse repealer being removed. It's the Main Street Revitalization Grant Program. I will yield for questions. If no questions, my motion would be passage by use of the afternoon roll call, Mr. President.
Questions? Seeing none.
My motion is passage by use of the afternoon roll call, Mr. President.
The afternoon roll call has been requested. Anyone object? Mr. Recorded voting no. Present. Thank you, Senator Williams. Thank you, Senator Barrett. We'll move quickly. Senator Delano. Senator Fillingane. Senator Thompson. Senator Boyd. Senator Barrett. 165, Senate.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to go to item 165, that is Senate Bill number 2596, and have the title read.
Mr. Clerk, please read the title.
Senate Bill 2596, MDOT, authorizes transfer and conveyance of certain real property to the city of Ridgeland.
Mr. President, I'd like to be recognized to explain.
You're recognized.
Ladies and gentlemen of the Senate, what this does is this would transfer properties from the city of Ridgeland to, from the state to the city of Ridgeland, properties that are in Columbus, that are located in Columbus, back to the city of Columbus, and property in Gulfport. I have letters of support from Mississippi Department of Transportation as it relates to the property in Gulfport as well as the property in Ridgeland, and I have a letter of support from MDA as it relates to the property in Columbus. I yield for any questions, Mr. President.
Senator Parks, for what purpose?
Suspend the rules at the proper time.
One moment. Anyone else?
If there are no further questions, Mr. President, I ask for passage on the afternoon roll call.
Passes on the afternoon roll call. Does anyone object to that procedure? Wish to be recorded as voting no? Present? Seeing none, the bill passes by use of morning roll call. One moment. Let me check the calendar. Okay, let's finish and then we'll go to Senator Parks. Senator Whaley? Senator Whaley on 169.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to go to item 169, called up and have the title read.
Mr. Clerk, please read the title.
Senate Bill 2637, Northeast District allow greater flexibility regarding where the livestock show may be held.
I'd like to be recognized to explain the conference report.
You're recognized to explain the conference report.
Thank you, Mr. President. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the exact Senate language that we passed earlier in the year, dealing with the livestock districts, the one in Lee County, allowing it to be held wherever or anywhere within inside of that Northeast Livestock District. That's an explanation of the conference report, and I'll yield for any questions.
Seeing no questions?
Move passage by the use of the afternoon roll call.
Afternoon roll call is requested. Anyone object to that procedure? We're voting no. Brian? No. Anyone else? Present? Bill passes by use of the afternoon roll call. Senator Bryan voting no. Senator Younger? Senator Fillingane? Senator Chasnall? Okay. Senator Parks, you're recognized at this point. Senate, we're stopped at the general bills. Senator Parks is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to suspend the rules and go back to item 6 and ask the title be read.
All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Mr. Clerk.
House Bill 4110, Oktibbeha County authorizes the establishment of the Oktibbeha County Reserve and Trust Fund for deposit of net proceeds from sale of certain medical centers.
Make the usual motion.
Senator makes the usual motion. All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. Please proceed.
The committee has a strike-all amendment, but I have a substitute strike-all that I asked to be recognized to explain.
You're recognized. We don't have it up, Senator. 1 minute. We need to put it up on the calendar. 1 moment, please. You good? Okay.
Ready? What this does, it involves the managing of the proceeds of the sale of the local medical facility. If you look at changing lines 50 through 57. It's stating that the Board of Supervisors will have to deposit at least 80% of the net proceeds into a reserve trust fund. The original bill did not specify it to that point, so this will direct the board to create that fund, put those in there, and then it will simplify authorizing them to do so in its discretion. Happy to answer any questions. If none,
Senator Dupree, for what purpose, sir?
Question, Mr. President.
You for a question?
yes, sir.
Please
Madam
proceed.
Chair, in the sale of this facility, there are many of those people who work there. I mean, the facility is owned by the taxpayers, owned by the county, right? Am I correct?
I believe so.
Okay. So then those people that work there work for the county, and they have some retirement and those kinds of things. Is this trust fund set up so that they can make sure that their retirement and the debt's paid for that hospital or medical facility?
This has nothing to do with that whatsoever. This is
It
just no, sir. No, sir. This
It
is
has
just
to do with just
with the
setting up the trust fund?
the selling of the facility.
Okay. But I just want to make sure that the people who work there were taken care of as well.
Certainly.
Thank you.
Senator Hobson,
Question.
you for a question, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Senator Hobson's recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Mhm.
Is there anything in the general law that would speak to setting up a trust fund at the Board of Supervisors or at the hospital?
Their original request was to do that, and all this bill is doing is stating that they must do it. I can
and
ask the council.
Yeah, I'm just curious, it's, just by the wording, would make me think that it could be something that general law should cover rather than local and private. Not that I have an objection to this at all, but just curious.
They ask for authority even if it is in general law, is for council.
Okay. All right, thank you.
If no other questions, I'd move for adoption of the substitute strike law.
All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it, and we're ready to adopt, I think.
Suggest use of the afternoon
That's
call
where you-
for the final passage.
That's where you are. Anyone object to the procedure? Mr. Carter, vote no. Present? Seeing none. Local and private bill, HB 4110 passes. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. I call up item 7 and ask the title be read.
We'll need to suspend the rules again, ma'am.
I'd ask for suspension of the rules.
All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it, Senator. We're on 7. Mr. Clerk, please read the title.
69, DeSoto County authorizes to cease participation in DeSoto County Crime Stoppers.
Make the usual motion.
Use your motion. All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Please proceed.
This is simply authorizing the Board of Supervisors of DeSoto County to cease participation in the DeSoto County Crime Stoppers. They would simply move that their fee that they're levying would now go to the state Crime Stoppers program. I'm happy to answer any questions. If none, I would ask for passage on the afternoon roll call.
Seeing no questions, use of the afternoon roll call has been requested. We object to that procedure. Of course, voting no. Present? Seeing none. Bill passes.
I would ask to suspend the rules and call up item number 8 and ask the title be read.
All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Mr. Clerk, please read the title.
House Bill 4170, Town of Raleigh, extend repealer on tax on sales of restaurants for promotion of tourism and parks and recreation.
This is simply extending the repealer for the town of Raleigh for 2% levy on the sales of restaurants for the promotion of tourism, parks, and recreation. Happy to answer any questions. If none, I'd ask for passage on the afternoon roll call.
Seeing no questions, use of the afternoon roll call has been requested. Anyone object to that procedure? Wish to be recorded as voting no. Present? No. No. Chisholm? No. Harkness? Anyone else? Present? Anyone? 2 no votes noted. Chisholm, Harkness. Bill passes by use of the afternoon roll call. Go back to General Senate. If you go back to the general calendar, please. On the general calendar, we have a number of confirmations. I'll stop for a moment. Does anyone want to bring anyone up on the general calendar? Anyone? Senator Hobson, for what purpose?
Move that we suspend the rules to return to what was originally item 51 on today's calendar that had been moved to the heel of the appropriations calendar.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Okay, we're on 51. One moment, please. I think that's page 6. One moment, Senator. Page 6. Mr. Clerk, please read the title.
Senate Bill 3062, Appropriation Community and Junior Colleges Board Administrative Expenses.
I move adoption of the conference report and ask to be recognized to explain.
You're recognized, Senator.
Thank you, Mr. President. This is the Community College and Junior College Board Bill. We've already passed the support bill, and final action on the board bill is $94,158,411. That includes general funds of $5,815,481. Included in that is $26 million of EEF funds for CTE programs in the state, and I'll go through those with you. It's $2 million for the Bay St. Louis Waveland School District, $1 million for Benton County School District, $750,000 for Cleveland School District, $200,000 for Covington County School District, $1 million for DeSoto County School District, $5 million for the Harrison County School District Career and Technical Center, $800,000 for the Itawamba Career and Technical Center, $750,000 for Lamar County School District, $750,000 for Lowndes County School District, $1 million for the Marshall County School District, $1 million for the Monroe County School District, $1 million for the Moss Point School District, $1 million for the North Panola School District, $1.25 million for the Pascagoula-Goche School District, $1 million for the Pearl Public School District, $1 million for the Pearl River County School District, $1 million for the Poplarville School District, $1 million for the Prentice County School District, $1 million for the Scott County School District, $1 million for the South Panola School District, $1 million for the Union City School District, $500,000 for the Vicksburg Warren School District, $500,000 for the Water Valley School District, $500,000 for the West Point Consolidated School District. I'll yield for questions.
Seeing none,
I move passage, suggest passage by use of the afternoon roll call.
passes by use of the afternoon roll call. Anyone object? Those voting no. Present. Seeing none, the bill passes by afternoon roll call. Senator Hobson, any others? One moment, please.
Ask to go to item, suspend the rules to go to item 101 on today's
All in
calendar.
favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Senator, we're on 101.
Ask the title be read.
One moment, please. Senate, you need to go to page 11, I think. Yeah, page 11, Senate. Mr. Clerk, please read the title.
House Bill 1390, state agencies bring forward personal services funding allocations in fiscal year 26 budget for certain.
I move adoption of the conference report and ask to be recognized to explain.
You're recognized, Senator.
Thank you, Mr. President. These are fixes or corrections to various budgets and bills throughout. The first one on the list is the Athletic Commission. It's just inserting the amount of the salary for the head of the Athletic Commission, which is $32,500. The second one is a change we had on the SPB. We had, I'm sorry, as it relates to Child Protective Services, we had a number that was incorrect, and the time-limited number should be 422. I don't remember what the original was, but it was just a technical correction. And then finally, in Section 3, this was the $3 million for the NG 911 startup costs, and that's an explanation of the conference report.
Questions? Seeing none, Senator.
My motion is adoption of the conference report by use of the afternoon roll call.
Use of the afternoon roll call has been requested. Anyone object? Wish to be recorded voting no. Present. Seeing none. Bill passes by use of the afternoon roll call. One moment, please. Senator Hobson, you recognize.
Move that we suspend the rules to return to item 104 on today's calendar.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. 104, Senate, on page 12.
I ask that the title be read. At the
Mr. Clerk, please read the title.
49, state funds make certain transfers to the capital expense fund.
I move adoption of the conference report and ask to be recognized to explain.
You're recognized to explain, Senator.
This is the general bill as it relates to CapEx funds and the money that we've already prepared to appropriate for the Main Street programs, and this includes the administrative fee that I mentioned earlier today, the 2% administrative fee on top of the Main Street grants that we've authorized, and so it's a total of $10,017,755 to the Main Street Revitalization Grant Fund, and this will be effective upon passage. I yield for questions.
Questions? Seeing none, Senator.
I move adoption of the conference report by use of the afternoon roll call.
Use of the afternoon roll call has been requested. Anyone object to that procedure? Wish to be recorded as voting no. Present. Seeing none, the bill passes by use of the afternoon roll call. Senator Hobson? Senator Blackwell, you recognize?
Thank you, Mr. President. I move we stand in recess for 15 minutes.
15 minutes. All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. We stand in recess.
5:41.
I call Senate to order. Thank you very much, Senator Hobson. For what purpose, sir?
Are we ready for announcements, Mr.
Yes,
President? Sir. Adjournment in memory.
Please proceed. Anyone else? Senator Hickman, for what purpose?
Mr. President, I would like to hold item number 83 on a motion to reconsider on today's calendar.
83, Mr. Clerk. Motion to reconsider. Senator England.
I've been adjourned in memory, Mr. President.
Please proceed.
Ladies and gentlemen, when we adjourn today, I have a good friend of mine in St. Martin that lost both of his parents this past week, and I'd like to adjourn in their memory. Their names were Douglas Wayne Nikovic and Peggy Elaine Nikovic. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator. Senator Brumfield.
Thank you, Mr. President. Adjourn in memory.
Please proceed.
Today, as we adjourn, I ask that we adjourn in the memory of Mrs. Elfrida Gutter, who's the wife of Pastor Raymond Gutter. Please keep that family in your prayers.
Thank you, Senator. Senator Boyd.
Adjourn in memory.
Please proceed.
When the Senate adjourns today, I would ask that you join Senator Hobson and I adjourning in memory of Warner Alford.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Thank you, Senator. Senator Hobson.
Thank you, Mr. President. When the Senate adjourns today, I ask that we do so in memory of Richard Cowart of Vicksburg and Patty Warren of Gulfport.
All right. Other announcements. Other announcements. Okay, we have 3 deadlines tomorrow on Monday. And I appreciate everybody's hard work today on getting our appropriations finance bills out. That being said, Senator Blackwell.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move the Senate stand in recess until the last conference report is filed, at which point the journal will reflect we're adjourned until 10 a.m. tomorrow morning.
Till 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Stand in recess.
6:06.